check me out now. Return of the smooth operator. Shotty on repeat. I say sleep later. This another favor. Consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air. Fantasy a dream. Real world is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless. Learn to live shameless. Talk about me a lot, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless. So I'ma style on them. They washed up. It's a rap. Throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them. Otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue. Get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. About time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. Vibe with the blue. Vibe with the blue. Yeah. Vibe with the blue. 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 Vibe with the. Vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point moving forward. The battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a miner. But made me a grinder. The trees broke down for this loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm Bruce Lee. Ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crash Nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. Think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wanna ride? Come and vibe with the blue. Come 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 vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather. Be weather, be tripping. Starting to control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it. As usual. It's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish, loose-ish. Why they still lying? They don't do this bad at board games. Whole world clueless, selling they soul for Roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a sliced extra mozzarella. Crew fly, let God propellers. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge to tell her? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrinking the frame? Ever blink in the rain? It helps when your eyes dry. Mob with the bright minds. Think you funny, wise guy? Midnight marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake. Come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. Why do you try? We get them high. Take them high. What I do? Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. Come vibe with the blue. Pass what up? Vibe with the.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
I have seen everything that has ever happened, ever will happen, ever could happen, and yet, what the hell is this?
Are you ready?
Word to wise, grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple lies. You can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Dream on, yeah. Dream on, dream weaver. Dream weaver.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It is your boy Ernie, the Blerd Without Fear. Got the homie Carter presents. Welcome to episode 274 of the Blerd Cave, the #1 comic book news stream on this or any other Earth in the multiverse that you can find not just right here on these glorious YouTubes. You can also find us on Spotify. You can find us on Amazon. You can find us on Apple. You can find us on iHeartRadio. Timbuktu, a chicken wing, it doesn't matter. But whatever you do, make sure you leave us a rating. So that way we can find more listeners like yourself. And with that, Carter, how you doing? How you doing?
So let me tell you why I think you'll be more of a fan of this stuff than I am. Because I know how much you love the Terrifier movies.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
So this past week, there was this like anthology book that came out from Boom Studios called Hello Darkness. This was number 3.
Mm-hmm.
You have let me I'm gonna say off some names for you so you know who have stories in this. You got Garth Ennis, you got Andy, you got Garth Ennis, Andy Lanning, you got James Tynion with a story, you got Robert Hack with a story, and you got a brother by the name of Michael Conrad. He's done Wonder Woman, he's done Batgirls and stuff like that. Okay. Now you know how you have stuff from certain writers to where you'll read it and then that will just not make y'all want to read anything else from that person anymore. I'll give you all an example. Christos Gage, he did the second volume of Superior Spider-Man. After finishing that entire volume, I'll never read anything from Christos Gage ever again.
Oh, damn.
So just to give you all an idea. So in this Boom Studios horror anthology, Michael Conrad, Wonder Woman, Batgirl, stuff like that. Yeah. He has a story. It's called Mukbang. Spoilers for this story.
Yeah.
Because I got to hear what you say, and I want to see what everybody that's watching us live, and I know everyone that's an audiophile that's going to be listening to this later on, I know y'all are going to be cussing when I start saying what the story is about. It's going to be a lot of WTFs while y'all on the freeway driving, listening to us. So Mukbang is about these two kids that know each other since they've been young, that are constantly trying to one-up each other when it comes to TikTok fame, basically. In the story itself, it's called We Two, but it's two younger people battling for TikTok clout, right?
Right.
Okay. So you got this one sister. She is the first person who blew up because she had a TikTok about octopus mukbang. She was eating live octopus, stuffing her face and shit with it. Mukbang, ASMR, all that. So she kind of blew up on TikTok because of that.
Oh my God.
This is the girl. This is the girl of the story. The guy of the story, he hated that because, you know, anytime he does something, she always tries to one up him.
Okay.
So because he saw her eating this octopus feast for a mukbang, to one up that, he then proceeds to start eating like a bunch of like spaghetti and shit like that, stuff in his face. So what does she do? He does spaghetti and spicy mukbang. Then she starts doing extreme seafood, just grabbing all kind of shit out of the ocean and just stuffing her face with it right then and there. So she's winning again, which is what he don't want. So what did he do? He then gets a bowl, cuts off his hair and fingernails, and starts doing that as a mukbang. And now it looks like he's winning. Only for him to see the girl at school the following week missing 2 fingers because she then posted a TikTok of mukbang finger food where she cut off 2 of her fingers and got to eating for the TikTok clout. Okay.
No.
And to one up him even further so that he couldn't get a lead on her, she then proceeds to go to a pet store and start cutting off the pinkies of certain animals to put in a sundae to drink. She then proceeds to find a Cocker Spaniel that she then kills and then comes out with a TikTok saying, "Can I eat a whole bowl of Cocker Spaniel stew?" She then, to go a step further, to make sure that this guy does not get the lead on her, she has roasted foot, being her own foot that she cut off and then proceeded to eat for the clout. Now, it looked like she was winning at this point. We're going to call the boy Andy. We're going to call the girl Angie. That's the two psychos in this story.
Oh my
so
God.
Andy is depressed because Angie is she done just whooped him. She got all the clout. She ate her finger. She cut off her own foot, ate a dog, went to a pet store, started cutting off pinky toes. He cannot think of a way to get his clout back.
Oh my God.
Until it finally dawns on him. You can't react to shit yet till I'm done. He's at dinner with his family and the light bulb goes off. His family asking him if he's okay. He's super depressed and he's trying his best to figure out what he could do to finally beat her. And then the light bulb goes off, ladies and gentlemen. He finally figures out what he can do to blow up on TikTok and finally one up Angie. To which he then posts his newest mukbang video with tonight's special dish being his newborn little brother Todd.
What the fuck?
Who he then roasts and then eats. And then we see her reaction we see Angie's reaction of calling Andy a piece of shit because how can she top that? We finally get an ending because in Andy's words, everything she tried to do after that, she couldn't beat him. She cut off her nose. She cut off the other leg. She cut off her arm. Now she is just in the Future Filmmakers Club with her little 5 minutes of fame, even though she is missing both legs. She is missing one arm, but he won. And we see him eating his dinner, to which we hear somebody tell him to hurry the fuck up and eat his dinner, or they're going to just have to clear out with him starving. To which we pan out to see that Angie graduated high school in the Future Filmmakers Club. She's all in the yearbook. And Andy, even though he won, is currently in prison. Now, even though this is Michael Conrad, he wrote Wonder Woman, he wrote Batgirls and all this jazz.
Yeah.
Finishing this story, you can best believe I will never read another goddamn story from this crazy ass white dude ever the fuck again.
I was about to say, like, who? Oh, I gotta see something. I gotta see something. Because, hold on, wait a minute. Wait.
But I know you like the Terrifier stuff, so I just wanted to see your response to it. Because the only reason I even grabbed the book in the first place is because I saw Becky Cloonan's name on here, and I saw James Tynion's name on that book. And for you, there is a story when it goes to James Tynion's story in this book. There is a Something Is Killing the Children story with the main character from Something Is Killing the Children. But that story I just described to y'all is the very first story you see in that goddamn book.
Yeah, no, thank you. I would never. Well, because here's the thing. And this is what I think is very important for people to understand about me. I love really like let me be a little more clear here. It's not just gore. It's not just gore. I like good, well done gore. Now, that said, I don't know what the fuck this motherfucker was thinking. I don't want to know whatever he was smoking, whatever he was drinking, whatever. I need to know all of it because I don't want it.
So, according to Jasmine, who thank you for looking this up for us, Jasmine, she said that this story is described on his Instagram as a gross and horrific tale about competitive eating. That is a fucking understatement.
Oh yeah, it's a huge one. I would dare. So when because I was literally talking to somebody on the phone yesterday about this, about my love of things like Terrifier, and when talking about it, I was describing the infamous hacksaw scene from Terrifier 1, where Art has old girl hung upside down, and he is literally sawing her in half from the cooch.
Hoo-ha down.
Yeah, from cooch first down to the shoulder. And here's the thing. For as gory as that scene is, it don't involve any babies. It don't involve any children. As a matter of fact, you never really even see Art harm any children except for like a middle schooler. Like, I don't even think he's middle. I think he's like a freshman. He might be a freshman in high school or something like that. But yeah, it just, there's a certain point you reach where it's like, and I'm not trying, I don't want to classify this as mean-spirited, but like, it almost, like, I want to ask the question, who hurt him? Who hurt him? Like, who upset him? Because I don't know. I'm gonna need, man, look, I would be worried. I would be worried for someone that wrote that. But not trying to mental health shame anyone, but I would be severely concerned for someone who wrote that. Which you know what, that is what it is. You know what, to take us out of that, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I only have one. I only personally have one reaction to that, and it is
No, sir, I don't like it.
That is my reaction to that. That is some foul, like, I'm not even religious. That's some foul, ungodly shit, and that motherfucker need to go to church.
That was such a setup, because seeing that book in the shop, it's like so seeing Becky Cloonan, seeing James Tinian. Because when I first saw it, I just saw a naked redhead holding a bloody spear. And I saw Hello Darkness. The first thing that popped into my head was, is this some kind of Red Sonja shit? Because I see the redheaded woman naked and holding the bloody spear. So I'm like, did she just fuck somebody up in the water or something? But when I saw Becky Cloonan and James Tinian, I said, okay, sure, I'll open this real quick. Those are two names I like. But my warning should have been the first name, Garth Ennis.
Oh yeah, we as soon as you
that should have been the first warning. But I said, you know what?
Oh yeah, when you led with Garth Ennis, I knew what time it was. I knew what time it was.
And I didn't even get to his story. I think his is the last story in that book, because after that first one with Michael Conrad, I'm sorry, Becky. I am sorry, James T. I couldn't even get to you all's story because I had to put the book down at that point, and I just had to leave the store. Like, what the fuck?
Well, now that
but I couldn't wait to get your POV. I could not wait to hear what you thought.
That shit sounds. I'll be honest with you. I'll never read that shit. You can, like, honestly, at this point. And I'm not trying to shade. You said this was from Boom Studios. I'm not even trying to shade. I'm not even trying to shade them.
No, not at all.
If they ask me to talk about this shit on my channel, I'm not gonna lie. I would just be like,
"That's stupid. Use your common sense."
I'd be like, no.
See, and I really do want to read the Something Is Killing the Children story in there. It's called A Monster Hunter Walks Into a Bar. I want to read where that story goes with old girl, because the story is about her. So I'm interested in something that's killing the children, just from your recommendation.
Yeah.
So I do want to read it, but it's just that first story is just like.
You can't put that in the front. You can't put that in the front of the book. I'm sorry. Whoever's editorial choice it was to put that story in the front of the book, you just made it that like I'm sorry. That like, man, I try to keep it positive. I don't like being hyper negative about people's work, because I think that I'm actually quite protective of the creative process. But I personally think that, like, and it's funny you bring up something's killing the children, and I caught Mailman's joke about something's eating the children. Here's the thing about that, though. And this is why, if it seems hypocritical of me to be someone who is thoroughly bought in to the to the aspect of something is killing the children, I'm gonna tell you why I think Something's Killing Children is higher art than whatever the fuck it was that's in that Hello Darkness book. And it's because it's not done for shock value. It's not, well, I mean, it is done a little bit for shock value, but it's not done in such a way that is so depraved. Like, it's not done in such a way that is, and what I mean when I say mean-spirited, I mean, like, I'm talking like some Garth Ennis level bullshit, like where it's just like we're doing it, like we're trying to shock jock you. I'm just doing this just to, I'm trying to come up with the like I literally sat down and tried to think of what is the most depraved thing I can put in the story that's gonna have people talking, regardless of whether it's good or bad. That's the type of shit I'm talking about, is what this story sounds like to me. It sounds like, and once again, I'm not trying to be shitty, but I feel like Conrad did exactly that. Like, what can I write this story about that's gonna have people talking? Not what doesn't matter if it's good, doesn't matter if it's bad, doesn't matter if they're making fun of it, or if they're disgusted, or if they enjoy it, or if they cringe at it. It just doesn't matter, so long as it's like some Eric Bischoff levels of fuckery.
There will
fuckery going on there.
Somebody gonna find a way, whether it's me or him. We gonna find a way to bring some kind of wrestling reference.
Right? I'm just saying. It just. I'm sorry. I can't. I just can't see it another way. But I can tell you what I can see another way. I can definitely tell you what I can see. And I can see it all kinds of ways. If I'm being honest. Is that we got some super chats. First and foremost, we have got, let's see, let's pull this up. We got the evil mathematician says, I had to keep going back to see what Carter was talking about. With the $5 super chat. Yeah. So you said, what we said was Hello Darkness number 3.
Yes, it's called Hello Darkness. This is issue number 3 of that book.
That is 3 too many. That's 3 too many. That's 3.
I don't even want to say
many.
that. I just want to. I don't want to say that, because there probably have been several really fun horror stories in 1 and 2. But I will absolutely agree with you wholeheartedly in saying that that story should not have been the one.
Lord, I can't even show this cover. Good Lord.
You talking about with the naked lady?
Yeah. Well, I love how they have a version of it where, like, wait a minute, hold on. What's this one? Lord, you can't show the first cover either. God damn. Okay, yeah. Look, you know what? This is some nasty. Y'all, look, I try not to say this to y'all. This is some nasty nigga shit. This is what this is. This is some nasty nigga shit. I'm sorry. This is some freaky fool, nasty. Like, I'm sorry. You can't say,
I haven't seen the covers. I see Devontre saying wow, and I see Alita saying it too. I haven't seen any other covers. The only cover my shop had is just the regular Hello Darkness with the girls back to the camera. Like, I don't want to see these other covers, but how y'all asked for
so you saw the cover for number 3. Do you know it has Hello Darkness and it's over the cheeks?
Yeah,
they got a version where that ain't there, where you just see the cheeks. You see the cheeks out here. And I think the cover for issue, I think it's number 1, where it, I don't know.
Okay.
The titties is just on display. The titties is just on display. I was like, Lord.
I like this though. So even by Carter's description, I'm not that mad about this story. I mean, I'm not into horror, but it sounds like a horror comic. Now, right behind that, it's that insane clown posse effect. It's extra obscene for no reason.
Right.
Boom.
No, 100%.
I don't mind horror. Shit. Something is killing the children. There were several Silent Hill books I used to read when I was playing those games back in the day. I don't mind reading horror comics and stuff like that. Refrigerator Full of Heads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this just seemed like it just screamed up. It was just unnecessary for no goddamn reason. And it's what you said. I don't care. Like, I want some kind of reaction from it. I'm gonna do as extra as it was the. Now this is totally me coining this phrase. It's that Mark Millar effect.
Oh God.
That's what that story screamed like to me. Just unnecessary for no goddamn reason.
Yeah. Nah, you're right. It's not like, it's not even, you could almost make a case for like the old EC. For those who don't know what the EC comics were, that was like your Tales from the Crypt and like your Weird Science and trying to think I think basically any of those like kind of like pulp era, like, you know, horror comics or like high science comics, which I think is probably a lot of people that just realized Weird Science was not an original IP. It was the talk about the movie and the TV show. They were based on a comic. But point of the matter is, this is like, I don't even want to show this because this should get fucking stream taken down. I don't even want to show it. It'll get the whole stream taken down. We also got another one here. Shytown Dan, the Night Skin King, says with the $5 says, I want to thank Ernie and Carter for my newfound insomnia and permanent loss of appetite. My therapy bill will be in y'all's emails.
Hey man.
Hey, look,
Ernie has done this to me, and I've done this to him. Where it's if I had to know about this shit, you got to know about this shit.
You got to know about this shit.
We have done this to each other several times over the years.
We really have.
So I feel like it's only fitting that if I had to know about that bullshit, y'all had to know about that bullshit.
Look, we're just passing the savings on to you. That's all. I guess let's go ahead and just get into our shit. Let's get into our shit, man.
Right.
So for those who don't know, here, I'm gonna do this on my phone because it's easier. For those who don't know, we got, I don't know how you wouldn't know now that I've said that statement out loud. Basically, X-Men 97.
Yeah.
X-Men 97 has been a cultural phenomenon. Like, it just, the X-Men, it's a proven property. Say what you want. Say what you want about, the various different X-Men animated series over the years, which I think all of them are varying degrees of good or great. You say what you want about those. X-Men 97 came in and broke the mold. Even though technically it was supposed to be a continuation of the 90s X-Men, the animated series, this shit came out, and I think a lot of us expected it to be good, but I don't think any of us knew how good it was going to be. I don't think any of us actually knew the full extent of how good this shit was going to be. And it comes to its inevitable close, season 1, and the speculation game is rampant. And before I even get into the Bo DiMaio stuff about this, because this is ultimately why we're talking about this. Bo DiMaio put some words out into the internet, and those words have consequences for this upcoming season. As you just so I want to give us a little bit of a refresher, just for in case people, because it's been a while, just in case no one fully understands where we're at right now with this show. Okay, first and foremost, let's say we have Rogue, we have Magneto, we have Beast, we have Charles in the distant past, hanging out with a early days Ensabanur, aka Apocalypse, aka The Revelation, aka Big A, aka the Big Blue Booty Daddy.
You know how he changed his name during the Krakoa stuff?
Yeah.
I saw somebody's video recently where they're like, in Sabanur, also known as Apocalypse, also known as, and they showed the symbol, but because they didn't know how to say that word, they just played a bunch of TV static instead.
Yeah. you know what it made me think about? Do you remember that Key and Peele skit where they would do the NCAA like college
Yeah. Ringle McCringleberry and all that.
Yeah, but there was that one dude whose name was just a bunch of wingdings and symbols, and it would just be, and you would just hear a bunch of random like, and like, it was like it sounded like a dial up. It's not like you were like booting up the dial.
Yeah.
That's his name from now on. But yeah, we got these motherfuckers hanging out in the distant past. We have also got Cyclops and Marvel Girl in the far-flung future.
I hate that goddamn Cyclops outfit. I hate it. I grew up on that outfit. I played the arcade game with that outfit, but goddamn if I don't hate that costume.
I mean, I understand. I totally understand. We've also got Forge and Bishop in the present. And I mean, there's other characters in the present too, like Jubilee is there, and so too is Sunspot. But I'm just for simplicity's sake, we've also got Wolverine, who is just all kinds of hurt and morph, by Wolverine's side in the form of Jean Grey. We also know the Spider-Man and MJ and Flash Thompson are there. We know that we know the characters like Daredevil and Iron Man's and all the other characters. We also know all the different villains and stuff that are like coming out of the woodwork right now. We've got T'Challa's pappy out here, running fades out here. We got Civil War on the horizon. They look like Captain America and Iron Man look like they are literally about to throw hands at each. They're not. I'm just joking. I'm just playing. Don't take that part too seriously. I know somebody's gonna run with it. But I say all this. Also, we don't even know where the fuck Storm is. Storm is in the wind. We don't literally in the wind. We don't know where she is. And I say all this because one of the key things, and I think Carter, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. I think we all knew what time it was. We all knew with what was going on with Magneto, what was going on with Charles. There was only one name.
Look at Magneto's face. He just got through reading that Hello Darkness number 3. Look at that face.
That motherfucker's like, what the fuck did I just read? But no, there is only one place that we go. There's only one place you can go after all the things that we laid witness to.
Cool.
In that that shit's gone. That shit's gone, man. That shit is over. But no, there's only one place we can really truly go after this season.
Okay.
And that's Onslaught. Onslaught was heavily teased. Now, it was speculation, largely, on a lot of people's part, mine included, that Onslaught was going to be a thing in the next season somehow. Well, here's the problem with that. We now have it on good authority. Not only was that going to be the case, but now it probably will not happen. Now, that sounds like an insane thing to say. That wait, you said that the speculation was right. Yeah, we're getting Onslaught in X-Men season 2. But now you're saying that we ain't get how make it make sense. These statements contradict one another. Well, that is because Bo DeMaio has confirmed. Bo DeMaio has confirmed on Twitter that was the plan. However, plans in the wake of his firing have changed. So let's dig. We're gonna dig a little bit into this. I'm gonna dig a little bit into this, because like I said, this is a lot. I think when I was talking to Carter about this, I had screenshot no less than 14 different tweets by Bo DeMaio chronicling this. So we're gonna take a look at it. We're gonna take a look at it. Well, here's the problem. I see CLKO just said the things. I thought they had to credit him anyways. Well, here's the problem. They don't have to credit him if they don't use his shit.
Take his shit out.
They said, them motherfuckers took, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I am burying the lead here when I say this. However, they're literally taking what he did and they are putting it in the shredder. It is going in the shredder. As a matter of fact, I actually have it on damn good authority that Marvel Animation, they looked at his script, saw what it was setting up, saw where it was going, knew what they were going to have to do in order to satisfy the things that he has put out into the ether, and pulled a Stephen A. Smith on him.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
They said, we don't care. We are doing what we want. That is what they said. They said, we do what we want. Here, I'm actually going to pull this up so y'all can see exactly what I am talking about. So first and foremost, let's take a look at this right here. So this is a tweet from Bo DeMaio. Says, from what I'm hearing, the one director and exec who fought me and everyone and anyone else who loved the comics at every turn during season 1 has tossed most of what I had planned out. At one point, the exec was pushing Emma and Logan to be a couple. Now, look. That statement may seem unimportant, but anyone who has read the comics will know that is by far the dumbest thing, the silliest thing. Like, Carter, do you remember the Infinity Warps? Do you remember that? The Infinity Warps, it was when they had, like, Moon Knight, Spider-Man crossover, so on and so forth. And what was the one they had? It was one that was Emma Frost and Logan, and it was so nasty because the two characters do not like each other so much that the fact that they were amalgamated together just was wild. That's how much, yeah.
No, I don't really want you to ask me anything. I want you to get everything out.
Oh,
and I want you to get everything out your system before I say a word.
Oh, man.
Let's
go. All right. So here's the next one. We got another one here. It says, oh, trust me. The crew who were fans and myself were furious when a certain exec came in after letting me write the script, knowing they were going to can it, and said they, quotey fingers, had cooled on the idea and I was being, quotey fingers, too ambitious. Same exec who gave the quotey fingers less gay notes. Now, for those who don't know, back when the season finale had aired, there was a lot of controversy over the character Morph. And there were a lot of people that were speculating as to whether or not Morph and Wolverine were a thing, or if it was unrequited love, that Morph was attracted to Wolverine, but Wolverine was not attracted to Morph or whatever the case. And Bo DeMaio had confirmed by the time the season finale came out that that was in fact what it was. That when that scene that I had shown earlier, and here, let me pull it back up so that way people know what I'm talking about. This scene right here, where once again, this is not actual Jean Grey. This is Morph, in disguise as Jean Grey. That they were professing their love to Logan through the guise of Jean, not not doing it as something to maybe help wake Wolverine up, but like this was actually Morph confessing their feelings for Logan. And this is something that I actually was kind of slick surprised made it through, just based on some of the information that Bo had put out there about the show. And the thing is, let me be honest with you. So while you have all of that in play, the thing I think a lot of people did not catch is that there were lots of references to, because let's be honest, you write what you know, you write your life experience. Bo DeMaio is an openly gay man. And I don't think it was any surprise that the Pulse nightclub shooting was referenced on this show. I don't think it was a coincidence that the stuff with Morph and Wolverine was included in the show. I don't think any of that is like a coincidence or a weird cosmic thing that just happened, apropos of nothing. No, these are things, Bo is writing his life experiences here. He is the writer for the show, therefore those things are going to be there. Whether it just is what it is. You look, in the words of Macho Man Randy Savage, you don't have to like it, but you got to accept it. Go ahead.
No, because I don't want people talking about, see, Carter doing it again. He instigating. He trying to get riled earlier. I don't want to hear that shit. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Anyway, let's go.
Be quiet.
He goes on to say, yep, pretty sad. Season 2 is also only 9 episodes because of this, and them canning my Onslaught Age of Apocalypse finale. So here's the thing. Bo is letting everything out the woodwork right now because he knows that none of his stuff is going to be used. So he's basically telling us like all the things, all the theories, all the concepts, all the ideas people had about X-Men 97 Season 2. He's just spilling the tea because he now knows that it's never going to happen. That's why he is saying these things. So you go ahead and get all this shit up out your head right now that any of this is going to happen. But basically, yeah, he says, but Marvel loves shooting themselves in the foot, especially with certain directors and execs pushing their backwards, quotey fingers, we know better than the comics agenda, which, to be fair, this is something that I have heard him say on multiple, this isn't the first time he said this. He has said on multiple occasions that he had to fight tooth and nail to keep the show as accurate to the comics as he could. Like the reason why the show, like case in point here, I don't know if I have, let me see if I have this one. I don't know if I have this one.
Okay.
Oh, but go ahead. Say, go ahead.
This ain't me instigating.
Go
I'm
ahead.
just asking Ernie a question. I just want to
Let's
hear what my brother has to say about certain things. That is all this is.
Okay,
Ernie?
let's go. Mm-hmm.
This is Bo DeMaio's fault because all he had to do was be chill and all of the stuff he wrote would have stayed in. It made it through because Bo DeMaio is just talking shit.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I mean, he's talking shit now. Because here's the thing. He was actually never dismissive or, controversial on any level. He was never controversial on any level, to my knowledge, about anything he had to say. Like when the show was running, everything, he was very like complimentary. He didn't really talk about any of the problems that once the show was out and he finally kind of, I guess, felt more comfortable to talk about his experiences. I don't know, just the more I had went back and watched that video that he had posted on his OnlyFans, the more I think it, the more I look at it and think like, yeah, this is like there were constant references. I think that video was like 10 or 15 minutes long, but there were constant references to execs that were like out of touch with the property, that wanted to do it this way or that way. I think there was a point where they wanted to have Jubilee making hard light constructs out of her powers in the forms of middle fingers and things of that nature. And what was it? There was also a reference to, I'm going to go on a limb and say it was a potential relationship between Bishop and another character who was not black. And that was shot down because they said they didn't want to make it too political, having an interracial relationship on the show. But like it just
too political. That's too political.
It's too political.
Okay, one thing. For everybody, that is not me saying it. I just saw a brother in the chat that said it. And I just wanted to get Ernie's POV when it pertained to that. He said, "I don't think Carter agrees, but I'm standing on it. Stand on it. I hope you got your shoes on when you fucking stand on it." I wanted to see I wanted to see what Ernie would say in regards to that. Plus, I kind of thought he was gonna air you the fuck out, and I was gonna laugh. But I love that. Interracial couple is too political. You just having the Blerd cave as a platform and married to a white woman is too political.
It's political.
That's the dumbest shit I've.
Well, and I will say to anyone, like, okay, because I saw, I think where did I just see? I just saw somebody say something about Bishop having a love interest as if it's not something that's possible. I would like to remind you, Bishop used to pipe up Deathbird in the 90s. So yeah, like that. So yeah, I would calm down about that one. I literally have it. I have it as a matter of record. Bishop used to lay that futuristic pipe on Deathbird. Matter of fact, Deathbird was catching the death stroke from Bishop.
Stop it. You stop it right the fuck now and go back to making your goddamn point so I can speak. You already went too far when you said he was piping up, because now I'm trying to picture Bishop hoisting this bitch up like this. Stop it.
Wait, what was that issue?
Your point.
What was that issue with Akuga where
oh no. On the wall.
On the
stop
wall.
It. I just told you to stop it. Make your point, sir. Make your point.
Sorry.
Hold it in half. I hate all of you.
Oh yeah, no, dude. Yeah, hey, Jasmine know what I'm talking about. Bishop used to be up in them Shi'ar guts. Don't even play. Don't even play with me.
Is that why they have the little helmets on?
The little helmets on. He got
the grip.
Yeah. Wait. So what was you know what it reminded me of? It reminds me of that I don't know why it reminds me of that Aliens.
That's what that was.
Look, Bishop was in shit. That man was plugged in. He was doing like the Mr. Olympian while he was sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm
Make your point.
You
got keep doing it.
Bishop gave that Shannon show. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to be better. I apologize. Don't pay me any mind. Don't pay me any mind. I apologize. Anyway,
yes. Back on brand.
I just had to say these things because I didn't want anyone out here to be walking around ill-informed about Bishop's virility. Bishop gets cheeks. They're just not Storm's cheeks, because that would be incest.
Hey, apparently several of them, not you specifically, but apparently several of you motherfuckers is cool with that. For as many House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones motherfuckers out here, apparently that's all
that's
all
the rage
nowadays with some of you freaks. But continue.
Oh yeah. And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, the reason why I say that would be incest is because Go read X-Men: The Life and Times of Lucas Bishop. There's a point where he is talking about his relationship with his grandmother.
Mhm.
And his grandmother, here, let's pull this up. His grandmother looks suspiciously familiar. That's his grandmother right there. And she has intimate knowledge. Now, they never say what her name is. They never...
Fuck out of here. We ain't never seen a black woman with gray hair that's just hovering for no goddamn reason whatsoever.
Right.
That is Aurora Monroe like a motherfucker.
Right. It's
What black person watching or listening to this right now, grandmother got long, luscious gray hair that just hovers for no goddamn reason?
Look,
That is Storm. That is Halle Berry.
Yeah.
That is whoever played them in the reboot. That is, bruh. Stop.
Look,
Stop it.
and your grandmother telling stories like she always talking like she is at the podium of the Ebenezer First Missionary Baptist Church, 3rd Road on the Rock to Jericho. But no, this motherfucker had intimate knowledge of the X-Men, how they operated, how they worked, the stories that she told him. She was literally telling him as though it was a first-hand account. She knew stuff like it wasn't like the X-Men are so popular that everybody knows these stories. It's like no, she talked about shit as though she had skin in the game. So yes, that's fucking Storm right there. Like that's why like when everybody's like, man, why can't they just make Storm and Bishop be a thing? This is why. this issue right here did why. This is X-Men: The Life and Times of Lucas Bishop #3. So yeah, no, that's why they don't do that. But anyway, I got way far field. Tubes, you ain't shit, by the way. You ain't shit. That motherfucker with the $2 super chat, Bishop East Cloak. Look, hey, he's the box, okay? He's the box, okay? It's look, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Real quick, we got Gabriel the Dark Knight with the 1999 super chat. Says happy Saturday, Ernie Carter and Blurco, working while listening to you guys and showing support for your good works. We appreciate you, Pim. Thank you. Also, please, just for us, just one small little favor I'm gonna ask of you. Don't work too hard. Don't work too hard. You don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Also, shout out to Tubes One again with the Blerd Club Silver membership, and with another $2 right here says the artist formerly known as Apocalypse.
Real quick, we had a Brian Donovan that was in the chat, and he said he's got to say he's known Michael Conrad for like 25 years. And while he has a wild imagination, he's an amazingly creative and nice person. And I hope that is the case, and that it's great that is the case. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about that wild imagination, and that being the first story that I am introduced to in regards to this writer. We're not talking about his character or anything like that. We're just talking about the imagination that was put to print in this comic. That is it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has less to do with it has less to do with whether or not he is a good or bad person. I don't really think anyone is bad specifically because they wrote a story, but it does have a lot more to do with the fact that I just wonder. I just want to like I would not be doing my due diligence if I didn't at the very least ask the question, who hurt him? That said, getting back to it though. Because like I said, we have gone far afield, and I apologize for that. Is the nature of the business when it comes to myself. But
did you want to read these other two super chats?
Yeah. Let's do. Okay. Let's start with Wraith. There you go.
Yeah, we got Wraith with the Little Caesars hot and ready for the 5 saying Storm isn't Bishop's grandmother since he has been retconned into being Australian Aborigine and Storm is African.
Well, here's the thing. You can be both because grandmother, not mother.
And Black Phoenix literally commented on that super chat saying Aborigines originally came from Africa.
Yeah, I was also well, and that's also what I was gonna say. Here's the thing. Do you know where that Aboriginal thing came from? It actually came from the same comic that that picture that I put up came from. So please calm down. Calm down.
And we got another 5 from Bump 10. That's how I always picture you're supposed to say his name. How did y'all feel about the ending of X-Men 97? In my opinion, there was a lot going on, but I'm looking forward to the next season.
Yes.
Which will actually gets us back on point. Because I know
we still got one more.
Yeah, oh, we do?
Yep.
Oh shit, what we got?
We got Jasmine with the this is actually over on the Streamlabs side right here.
Okay.
It says, I keep telling you, Blerd, you got to get the Mike Tomlin "We do not care" clip soundbite signed to Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I do need to get that. Here, you know what? Let me write it down.
Steelers fan, bless your heart. I can't say that.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
I'm a retired Cowboys fan.
You can't say shit because after them seasons that they've been having.
Leave me alone. That's why I said I'm retired. I am a retired Cowboys fan. I'm retired.
There you go. See, I wrote it down. Oh wait, this way. It's in the book. It's in the book.
Oh my God, Cowboys! I knew there was something off about you. That is disrespectful.
Look, hey, leave him alone. Leave him alone. But no, to get us back though, yes.
Yes.
So as I was saying,
Mhm.
Earlier, yeah, we're talking about them wanting to do their own thing, the creative team behind this whole bit.
Mhm.
Right here, this is one I actually thought was really telling. Bodemile says, yeah, sorry guys, but when Marvel protects a director who openly discriminates against anyone who isn't like them, writes off Claremont as an old white man whose stories we shouldn't be adapting and instead do our own versions, what do you expect? Now here's the thing. The reason why I think a lot of what worked about the original X-Men, the animated series, and what actually worked very well, in my opinion, for X-Men 97 was that it did adapt a lot of Chris Claremont's work. I mean, they jumped around a lot. It was, it was a little bit of Chris Claremont. It was a little bit of Grant Morrison. It was actually, I think it was actually almost a healthy half and half of Claremont and Morrison, as well as, maybe a little bit of Fabian Nicieza somewhere in there, kind of sprinkled in for good taste. That said, I personally, I feel like you do yourself a disservice when you don't want to respect the source material. Need I remind people about Bryan Singer? Some of you may remember.
Fucking snake! You took one of my points. You snake!
Oh, there you go. Well, I mean, hey, well, you clearly know where I'm going, so I'm gonna let you go off. I'm gonna let you go off. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. Bryan Singer had no love for the comics that were X-Men, and he proved it at every single turn. So I don't know what you're gonna say, Carter, but I know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that
go ahead.
At this point, I'm actually very concerned that we're gonna wind up getting an X-Men 97 season 2 that looks more like those Fox era X-Men as opposed to the X-Men 97 season 1 that we got that was so great. But go off, King, go off.
Hugh Jackman came out, I believe it was Hugh Jackman. You all can correct me if I'm wrong, but he said, if I remember correctly, he was one of the ones that said that Bryan Singer went as far as to tell people not to read the goddamn comics when it pertains to X-Men, because that's not what we doing. That's not what we're doing here. So you trying to read a fucking comic book in order to get in the zone for your character is irrelevant and unneeded. And then you watch Deadpool and Wolverine, all the other things. But let me tell you why I'm happy that they are getting rid of all of the junk that Bo DeMayo was trying to put on X-Men 97. Get Bo DeMayo the hell up out of here. And I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
You brought up Bryan Singer.
Mm-hmm.
We can also bring up, so we can bring up the Fox era X-Men movies. We can actually bring up The Witcher. We can bring up David Ayer's Suicide Squad. And the reason I bring all these up is because these were cases where the companies believed that they knew more, and these people behind the scenes believed that they knew more than the source material that they are putting on screen. Now, this one I don't know how. Well, no, I remember there were several like pictures and photos about it, but there were a lot of people when it pertained to The Witcher that said that.
Oh yeah.
You know that the books weren't the games we know what we're doing as opposed to those. That's 3 huge box office video games, a bunch of goddamn novels that have come out in regards to it, but you're doing your own thing, and now you're getting that negativity from it to where one of your biggest actor did not like what you were doing, and they went to do their own fucking thing. You have David Ayer's Suicide Squad, to where he had a certain one, he read the books, nah, we want to go this way. And then we saw how that turned out. You got the Fox films with the X movies. It's a bunch of, we know what's best. And I'll give you another one. Fan Forstic. That was another one. To where the creator said, I've read these books. I have this idea for a story. I think if we follow XYZ, this will be good. No, we need to do this. And again, we saw how that turned out. So in this instance, with all these people thinking that they know what's best, and we want to get away from this because these are just comic books. These are just video games. We know what we're talking about here as opposed to comic books and video games. I don't want Bo DeMayo's anything on this second season, because when that second season comes out, and let's say for the sake of this conversation, that second season is the epitome of something going from sugar to shit. I want Bo DeMayo as far the fuck away from it as possible, just watching the fireworks, eating popcorn. Because at that point, if you're getting rid of him and you're getting rid of everything that he wanted to incorporate, when it does fuck up, you have nobody to blame, because you can't point it at him because you got rid of all his shit. You can't blame him because you all swore you knew what was best. I see a lot of people that were bringing up American Gods season 3.
Yeah, that's another.
Swore up and down that they knew what's best.
Oh no!
Where you have Orlando Jones doing these interviews saying that a white guy was trying to tell a black man that he really knew what the black audience needed to hear.
Right.
And as soon as season 3 of American Gods came out, it came out and went out. Ain't heard shit since. Nobody wants it. Nobody's trying to pay for it to come. Season 4 to come out.
That
they
shit
don't want
was
to do it because it for what? That's how they looking at American God season 4 now. For what? So again, that's why I do not want anything Bo DeMayo on this season. Because if this season comes out and it ain't nowhere near as successful as that first season was, you can't blame him, because he had nothing to do with it. Because this is all the people that said that they knew what they were talking about. We don't need Claremont stuff. We can do this because we have this, that, and the third. That's why, even though I'm not watching the fucking second season, shit like The Last of Us shows that comes to people that think like, these are people that do fucking video games. They're not like us. You look at the first season of fucking Last of Us, blew everything out of the water. Matter of fact, this was a show that neither Ernie and I just vibed with like that, but you still have to give credit where credit is due. Look at The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah,
Look
yeah,
how many
100%.
seasons that goddamn show got. Look how many spinoffs that show has. Video games, comic books, TV shows. Even though they're on TV, movies. Those are comic books. Nobody wants to give a fuck about comic books. And look how Robert Kirkman just put egg on all you motherfuckers' faces. Look how Neil Druckmann with The Last of Us on HBO is putting egg on all you people's faces, to where you have to give them that credit and you have to give them that respect. So just to go back to just encompass everything that I'm saying. Yeah. Bo, just chill. Yeah. If they don't want to go with any of your stuff, okay.
Yeah. Just look, you know, this is what I want Bo. I'm be honest with you. I'm not joking when I say this.
Yeah.
And Bo, I have a sneaking suspicion you might be watching, or you're going to see this at some point.
Mm-hmm.
When X-Men 97 season 2 come out, and if it's bad, and I'm gonna address why I'm saying I'm qualifying this by saying if, because there's a very specific statement he gave about the show that we're gonna talk about as we close it out. But if you don't post this video as your sole reaction, I'm gonna be mad at you. So I'm gonna put this up so you know what I'm talking about. If X-Men 97 season 2 come out and it is quite literally booty water, you need to post this video. That needs to be
why you posted it. Don't acknowledge anyone's comments on it.
Nope.
Just post that and don't say shit else.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Don't say a goddamn thing. Don't say a goddamn thing. Just be like, well, I mean, here's the thing. And I think this is an unfair statement. Because here's the thing. You're saying this as if we know exactly what happened. We do not know what happened. So I'm gonna say, might want to qualify that. You might want to qualify, or I would check that one, because I'm gonna tell you right now, and I've said this before. Robo and I had a long discussion about this on Nerds of Culture. Nobody actually knows what happened. Everyone is making assumptions. Everyone saw egregious misconduct in Disney's statement, which, by the way, when Disney did that little clapback at Bo, I want to make sure that y'all remember this. The statement that Disney made is the same statement that, because everybody's like, oh, Disney dropped some heat. No, they didn't. All they did was take a statement they had actually originally said when they initially fired Bo. They just copy and pasted that as their new statement. It was the same statement. They said the same thing about James Gunn about the fucking tweets that he made. Egregious misconduct. Egregious misconduct is, to the world of employment, what irreconcilable differences means for a marriage. It's just a word salad you can throw together, and you can do what you want to do without anyone questioning what you did. It would be no different if and actually we actually did use this. My first wife, when we got divorced and we were sitting in front of the lawyer, and they were trying to determine whether or not they wanted to grant us our or not the lawyer, but the judge, they wanted to grant us our divorce. We both looked at each other and said irreconcilable differences, and the judge looked at us and was just like, okay. Because
I just want to say that says a lot about people, that when they hear that, that's where their mind goes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that's just fucking weird to me. Yeah. That's where your mind went when you heard that. They could have swung on somebody. They could have been talking crazy to somebody, but that's just where your mind went off. Yeah. Rip. Like that's just the strangest thing to me.
Also, this right here, none of this is confirmed. This is all hearsay right here. Mm-hmm. Like I said, no one. Okay, here's the thing. I know I can tell who went and watched that, what was it, Heavy Spoilers, New Rockstars, whoever the fuck it was that made that video that was talking about the real reason Bo DeMott, like, first off, they didn't know. They didn't know. And I'm going to tell you why I know they didn't know. Because they claimed that they had been sitting on that information for years. And guess what? If you sat on that information for years, then you're a piece of shit. And I'm pretty sure you're not that smart either. So, no. Stop. No. People who say they know what happened, I'm going to tell you right now, probably lying. Anyway, that is that. But I said all that because here's the thing. So so people are still, I know there's probably some people out there still saying, I don't see how he planned on, pulling Onslaught out from what we got. Well, he actually explained it quite succinctly on lay Twitter. He goes on to say that, remember how Xavier says to Magneto at the top of 10 by 10, he's talking about episode 10, how these waters represent the anger and pain you carried all these years? My idea was that Xavier was being infected all along in 10 via osmosis, and definitely when you see them pulled under. For those who don't remember, in that episode of X-Men 97, Charles was trying to help Magneto, find himself, amongst all that. As a matter of fact, here, for those, here is the scene in question, talking about the water and all that, and we also saw, as you carry on in that same scene, you go to this point where these, trying to help bring his mind back, trying to get his mind right. And you see all the realization and things of that matter, and how, it's literally all right there. Like, it wasn't, I don't even think it was anything you had to really, like, think too terribly hard about, if I'm being brutally honest. It was kind of obvious what they were setting up if you have eyes to see. But he goes on to say here that they're rewriting the season because they blew up episode 10, which paid off a season-long mystery of clues and foreshadowing that led to Onslaught. Once that was scrapped, Marvel kept pivoting on the story they wanted to tell and running the crew into the ground, basically implying that this was some shit that was going on not just after his fire, but even before his firing. He says season 2 was written in 2022 and 2023, which is something I have said a lot of times when talking about how they had already greenlit season 2 even before season 1 had aired. As a matter of fact, they actually had greenlit season 3 after the show had started airing. But he says animatics were in full review and episodes were being shipped. Animation has a long lead time. I was turning in the Bible for season 3 in March when we parted. As a matter of fact, this lines up because when everything was greenlit for a season 3, he was already talking about some of the things that he wanted to do with a future season. So like I said, I want to make sure, and I want to make sure I reiterate something here. And I know that this is not something I talk about very much here. If you give me a choice of who to believe, a corporation or a person, I'm usually going to pick the person. Because I think corporations suck. And I know Disney has a long history of impropriety. Still, to this day, have a history of impropriety. So when a person is defending themselves against, at first, let's be real. Very rarely do people defend themselves against the mouse. Usually, you know what people do? They just stay quiet and shut the fuck up. When the mouse, when the Godfather Mickey Mouse is out here slinging around legality, most people usually just shut the fuck up. So it's usually when people still keep talking after the fact, I tend to listen, because that's just, I'm sorry, it is what it is. Corporate, I'm be honest with you. I'm not a corpo. Okay? I'm not a corpo. You know, if you've never played Cyberpunk, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. Like a corporate man, a company man, a man for the company. I'm not that person. I'm always going to side with the little guy or little person in this case. I'm always going to do that. So yeah,
It's
find it
funny.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's gonna be funny, and everything you're saying is why I'm saying that, like, everything that he did, let him take it.
Yeah.
Because when this season comes out, the one thing you're gonna see, and we've seen it with Suicide Squad until James Gunn's Suicide Squad came out. I've seen it with The Witcher. I saw it with Four Stick. The only thing that will be focused on, if that season is clearly not as good as the previous seasons, they are just going to find the 1 to 2 Carlos Johnson 78, Seattle KO 1115 930, Bill 930 876 452. This show is amazing. The second season blows the first season out of the water. They're strictly going to focus on all these goofy motherfuckers that just said that this show is good, it's still good. Whoop de whoop de whoop de whoop de whoop. They're only going to, because here's the thing that I think a lot of people are forgetting, or that a lot of people won't even think about. When season 2 comes out, there's going to be millions of fucking people watching it. And that's one thing you're probably going to see them talk about, is how many millions and millions are fucking watching this show. They're not watching it at this point. To me, they're not watching it because of how strong the first season was to people. They're watching it for the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's why you're going to have millions upon millions of people watching that second season, to see how bad you screwed up in comparison to the first one. And I guarantee you that is all Disney and whoever else is going to come out and say something positive about it. That's all you're going to see them talk about, is how many people are watching it. They're not going to talk about the quality.
Nope.
Because they just want the eyes. They just want the people that are going to subscribe.
Precisely.
Or the people that are going to, you know what I'm saying? So that's the one thing I want everybody to focus on. So if you don't like it because you are going to watch that show and you're going to be like, the quality isn't there, there are a lot of weird shit they did, you're not going to be alone just because you see them tweeting out or posting on Threads or posting on IG that all these millions think it is a blast. They think it is just the hottest thing going right now. That's just because they're only going to focus on the 4 or 5 people that are going to say that.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So.
Also, I just want to point out too. So, man, I don't like putting it this way, but I can't say it any other way. There's also another thing we have to worry about with X-Men 97 season 2, and it's what I'm going to refer to as the pussification of it. And I mean that in so much as, you remember the vibes around the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, Carter? So back when the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film came out, there was backlash from parents groups, parents crying to the rooftops that the movie was too violent, that because of the cartoon, they took their kids to go see this movie, and they didn't like that the turtles were beating up people and swinging swords at him and hitting them with nunchucks, and apparently it led to children being more violent, supposedly, that the kids were trying to replicate what they saw, which, I mean, to be fair, I do believe that part. Kids were probably trying to replicate what they saw in the show, and there probably were some mistakes made. However, but people were, instead of blaming their own terrible parenting, they were blaming the movie. And it is why, when you get to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, why there is such a tonal shift. The movie is incredibly more lighthearted than the first film. It does not have as heavy of subject matter. No characters almost die, supposedly. There's no... there's no violence. Like, it's why Michelangelo never hits anyone with his nunchucks. He hits them with sausages. It's why Donatello doesn't hit anyone with a stick. He just tickles them with a little cushy toy thingy. It's why Leonardo does not swing his swords. Why Raph is not, stabbing anyone with his size. Well, something very similar is happening something very similar is happening with X-Men 97. Someone asked if the reason why or why they got away from this or why they're getting away from Bo DeMaio's original script is because they wanted to go in a darker direction, and that maybe they didn't think that it was going far enough. Well, Bo comes back and says this is a lie. They felt my season 2 was too dark. Now, I want to point something out here. We're talking about a season of X-Men 97 with Genosha. Episode 5, Remember the Name, where Gambit took the ultimate L on Genosha.
Yeah, that's funny because that just makes it seem like you all were doing this for like a Saturday morning Nickelodeon audience. That's who you were doing X-Men 97 for. It's like, get the fuck out of here. There are too many there are too many YouTube reaction videos in regards to Genosha, in regards to Gambit, where they have hundreds of thousands of views with people fucking bawling because of what was happening, and then all smiles and all hype when the X-Men turned up and did their thing. So get the fuck out of here. That was bogus. That was actually bogus of them to say that.
Well, it gets even better. It gets even better right here. He says, actually, my version was dark and gritty. The exact opposite is happening. They wanted it to be more kid-friendly and focus more on the school. When I wanted to take the X-Men into space and AOA, they're doing damage control. He also goes on to say that apparently a story about fighting for a world that hates and fears you should be a lighter fare. I tried reminding them that the OG series succeeded because it didn't pander to kids. I was ignored and undermined by this exec and director. So, and if you think that Bo is just talking out of his ass, he's not, because I actually recently, and you know what, I'll actually, this is, we're going to have our recommendation for the week, obviously, which is going to be a very specific thing. But I'm going to give you an addendum to that, or maybe a pregame to that. There's a documentary you can actually watch on YouTube called Claremont's X-Men. And this is actually something that's talked about in this documentary. It's literally about how Chris Claremont changed the perception of comics with X-Men, that he didn't talk down to children. He wrote a story that anyone could read. That when he told the story about the X-Men, the mansion, fighting for a world that hates and fears them, being hated because they were different, he didn't dumb it down. He came right out of the gate, straight for the jugular. What was it when Kitty Pryde was introduced to the X-Men? What was the saying? Welcome to the X-Men, Kitty. Hope you survived the experience. That was, and mind you, Kitty was like, what, 13, 14 years old at the time that she was on the team. She was literally the youngest character on the squad. She was, for all intents and purposes, all the X-Men were supposed to be, young. They're all supposed to be teenagers, like, early on, but, by that point, they were practically fucking grown. But, like, she was literally the only child on the team, and she was literally thrust into child soldier warfare. Chris Claremont, and I'm sorry, it is what it is. You can love him or hate him, whatever. I think Chris Claremont's a fantastic human being. Haven't spoken to him personally, but there's a reason why. Here, let me pull this down. I don't want to fuck up my whole entire shelf in doing this, but there's a reason why. Pardon don't take the cover. Don't take the cover into consideration here, because this is technically Chris Claremont didn't have anything to do with Giant Size X-Men #1. That was that was not he. That was not he that did this one. But like everything else after this, there's a reason why this worked. There's a reason why this worked. I'm telling you right now.
It worked because it's comic books. We're not comic books. We are a billion-dollar company that knows quality.
Do you know what we are? We're Disney. Moana. We make live action versions of our classic tales. Because you know why? Because fuck you, that's why.
You wrote little picture books. We went to school for witchcraft and direction and production in Harvard. We know. We make cinema here. We know what the people want.
I'm telling
If
you.
the second season does not go so well, it's only because we wanted to let it go.
Yeah.
We just felt that it wasn't doing the numbers and it wasn't doing the what we wanted it to do as a thing. We're not saying that we won't go back to it and find a yes man down the road. We're just gonna take a break on that right now.
Well, I will say this too, and Bo DeMaio is such a gracious person. He is such a gracious person. He goes on to say, this is actually the final statement. This is someone that is, basically just kind of, this is in response to someone who basically gave him well wishes and hoping that, he's vindicated down the road and that, maybe he'll get to do something as amazing as X-Men 97, down the stretch. He says, Donata, I'm still holding out hope that it turns out good. There's a lot of great people and artists working on that show still who are trying to fight the good fight. Now, here's the thing. And you know what this, okay, Carter, I know you know what this feels like because I think we have actually talked about this before. But I think every single one of us, on some level or another, you have either been in this position or you have been a person near the situation like this. I cannot tell you how many times I've worked in a place where things aren't good. Things are not going great. Things are bad. It's not okay. It's not okay. And here's the thing. I want to make sure I'm very clear when I say this. I have been both the person who has been the agitator, and by agitator, I mean the person who has tried to make change, who has tried to speak up, and I have also been the person who kept my fucking head down because I desperately needed my fucking job. This is one of those situations where I guess maybe this is the reason why I am more open to hearing out what Bo has to say. I don't know. I have been in the position where I've worked for a company, small or otherwise, and things were not going great, and I spoke up. And I was fired. Or like I spoke up, but I was always told, you don't get it. You don't understand. No, we can't do that. That you're asking for too much. Asking for simple things is what I'm asking for. But no, I'm being told I am rocking the boat. I need to just, matter of fact, I know you know this one, and you probably know exactly who I'm talking about here when I say this, but you just got to drink the Kool-Aid. You just need to drink the Kool-Aid, Ernie. You're not drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah, just in case. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know which motherfucker I'm talking about, Carter. I know you know who I'm talking about. I know you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about GameStop days. You know who I'm talking about.
I know because I was his main store. I know you're talking about.
Oh yeah. And let me tell you, you're oh yeah, you're not a good thank you, yes, what Jasmine just said. You're not a good culture fit. You're disrupting the culture. You see,
I haven't heard that one. I haven't heard that one, but I for damn sure have heard that Kool-Aid line. And you being nasty. You being nasty. I know I've heard that Kool-Aid line several times from that motherfucker there. You nasty for that one.
I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah, you're not a team. You're not a.
We should not have worked at GameStop around the same time. Because there's gonna be so many different little comments and in jokes that only we would know.
You're not a team player. You're not. You just don't get it. And here's the thing.
I just don't know. Lord.
I have also been the guy who has been next to the agitator. I agree with everything they say. I agree that we need to stand up. We need to rally around each other to so that we are actually treated like people and not just cogs in the wheel. And I have also been the person who is sat idly by and kept my head down because I was like, man, shit. Dude, this shit is bad, but man, I need this job. If I miss even so much as one check, I'm on the streets. I am homeless. I will not be able to feed my family. I will not be able to provide for my family. That is, I've been in that position too. So it's one of those situations where I think that, yeah, you probably don't hear a lot of people still working on X-Men 97 talking that shit because they need their fucking jobs. You're not going to see a lot of people openly corroborating what Bo DeMaio is saying because they're still a part of the machine.
We got bills. Bo
Yeah.
want to do that, he can do that. But I got bills over here, big dog. I got 3 kids. I got alimony, and I got a wife and a side chick in Westchester. I got priorities.
Look, you like that motherfucker on WWE. I got kids. I got kids. But man, look, it is what it is. There's no, you can't. The machine is the machine, and the machine exists for a reason, and it's because no one fights the machine. That's the whole reason behind the name of the band, Rage Against the Machine. It is a call to action to fight back against the very thing that is putting its boot on your throat. And very rarely do people have, I don't want to make it, I'm going to kind of double talk here, but there's a very good reason why there are people who have the courage to fight back against a system like that. And also people who, it's not to say that they're not courageous, but they're just not in a good position to, it's not to say they don't have courage, but they're not in a good position to exercise that courage. It sucks. It sucks. And look, I've said this before. And also shout out, and this is, and you know what, I want to give a shout, I want to give a special shout out here, because this is called being an adult. This is called being an adult, being mature and understanding. Like, I wish more people, I'm not trying to be dismissive when I say this. I wish more people were like this, because I feel like when you are given new information, you should act accordingly. You should act accordingly. Whenever I'm given new information, I act accordingly. Yeah. Case in point, before I give my example, before I show what I'm about to talk about, I'm going to talk about what happened on Thursday. Thursday, I was on Threads and I posted about the whole Ghost of Yote situation, and I was talking about Erika Ishii, and I misgendered them. I didn't know. But someone came to me and said, and once again, they weren't being a dick about it. They just said, hey, they are, non-binary, so they, them, da-da-da-da-da, whatever. My response was simply this: thank you for letting me know. I was like, it's recorded in my memory banks, and I'll endeavor to be better. Because that's just how you function. But that's how we live as an actual society. But the point I'm making here is that, Osiris just said, been in the hospital and just read Bo's most recent receipts. While y'all were talking about it, I apologize to the dude, and I'm gonna take the lumps on this one. Here's the thing: you don't even have to take the lumps. I don't think anyone should even have to take. Like, look, you didn't know. You can't be faulted for some shit that you did not know.
Yeah, you were ignorant, and this is why, I like that somebody else knew what I was saying when I said this comment. Yeah, you were ignorant to information. Now you got that information and absorbed it, because that's all ignorance is. It's not you being stupid. It's not you being mentally handicapped.
It's a lack.
It's a lack of information. You got that information now. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good. Some motherfuckers wouldn't do that, because there are several people who would be on that goofy ass, and I want to swing on people every time I hear it, where they don't know a thing, then they're told that thing, and then it's just like, I said what I said, and what you said was stupid as fuck, and I just showed you the proof of what you said was stupid as fuck. That I said what I said, shit, stop.
Right. No,
stop.
And I love this right here. Crow's taste is underrated. I've said it a lot of times. A lot of people think I'm joking when I say this. Sometimes I want to be wrong. Sometimes I look forward to be proven wrong. Not because, I'm so fucking smart. But no, sometimes I think about a situation, I think, it's probably going to go this way. And but I hope it doesn't. Not because oh, I'm so fucking wise, but no, because maybe I don't. Maybe just because I think something will happen doesn't mean I want it to happen. So yeah, sometimes there are lots of situations where I'm wrong on. If someone tells me, I'll be like, oh shit, my bad. Hell, some of you may even notice sometimes in my videos where like I'll put a little note for like where I misspoke. Because somewhere in the editing process, I discovered that as I was talking out of my ass and misspoke, and I put up a note to clarify what I'm saying or correct what. Hell, there's lots of times I go back and actually, if I have the time, I'll record. I'll cut what I said incorrectly and put in an actual correction. I actually have even considered not even cutting out my mistakes, but actually going in and like jumping in and saying, "Hey, I made a mistake here. I misspoke." Just letting you know, transparency. Even you don't think I'm someone who is above a fuck up. But no, it is like I said. I misspeak all the time. Some people catch it, some people don't. And if someone corrects me, I'm not going to be an asshole about it. The only time I'm going to be an asshole is someone tries to tell me I'm wrong when I, in fact, know I have the facts on my side. But yeah, no, it's. I think a lot of people need to. Yeah. And well, here, Brian Christian said, you learn more from your losses. And I actually think I've long been a believer in that. And like I have said this on because I think when I spoke out in defense of Bo DeMaio, a lot of people say, oh man, Blerd, this ain't a good look. You're going to regret this. Here's what I would say. You know what I would regret? I would regret damning someone who I think might be right. And then later finding out I was incredibly wrong. Like a lot of people tried to use the Ezra Miller situation. Not the same thing. There is actual evidence and proof about the stuff that was going on with Ezra Miller. The stuff with Jonathan Majors, same situation. Like the text messages that a lot of people were citing as to why he was problematic, those weren't text messages that were leaked by his girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Those were text messages that were leaked by his legal team. They came from him, straight from the horse's mouth. Now, I'm not saying that incriminates him to anything like that makes him like guilty, like that he should go to jail, but no, it just lets me know he's a trash person. Anyone that would use, and once again, committing suicide to try to manipulate someone into not breaking up with them, I'm sorry, you're shit. You're trash. You're trash if you do that. And that's all there is to it. There's no middle ground there for me on that one. Like, you are garbage. I don't care how good your movies are, how good you were in Creed 3 or Quantum Mania or what was that or in that Army commercial or on Lovecraft Country. I don't care how good you are. I'm still gonna think you're a piece of shit. But that said, hold
on, to go from movie, TV show, and that commercial, like, bro.
It's like, oh man, you man, dude, you were the bomb in that Army commercial, yo.
Come on,
but,
man.
Yeah,
that was nasty on your part. That was nasty.
It was. But
movie commercial.
Well, but I'll say this, and then we'll move on. Me, yeah. If it turns out that that Bo, and when I say he, I'm talking about Bo DeMaio. If it turns out that Bo DeMaio did something like incredibly egregious, like absolutely fucking terrible, absolutely irreprehensible, I will be the first person to come out and say, with the benefit of new information, yeah, he's done. But until I see that information, I'm not going, like, because all the same people are telling me, oh man, you're presuming him guilty until proven innocent. Like, because people said the same thing about me when I was talking about Jonathan Majors. It's like, no. The evidence is out there. It's out there. It's very obvious he's a piece of shit. Like, I didn't even have to wait for the court trial. He literally put out the text messages that proved that he is a manipulative piece of shit. But also, so was she.
Yeah.
That's the thing people lost in that conversation, is that I said both of them were trash. Y'all just focused on the Jonathan Majors part of it because that's y'all's boy. But I said both of them were trash, and both of them should not have been together. But in the case of Bo DeMaio, nothing's happened.
Because there was a Blerd cave where we got new information and we looked at the shit live.
We did.
The one constant we kept saying, they both toxic as fuck.
We both said it.
We both said that. And like, you made it a point to say, and shit, you made it a point to say that they were both toxic. And I think I feel like we ended that conversation with like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because that was so goddamn long ago. But I remember we looked up the TMZ bullshit live. At this point, he was a scumbag. All you can hope is that he actually does learn and grow from it.
That was it.
I feel like we both said something along those lines, but all that shit just got erased and deleted out of people's memory banks.
There's like, no, you said he was guilty. Guilty of what? What did I say he was guilty of? But no, it's not. Here's the thing. This is funny. Toxic is no cause to destroy a man's livelihood. No, but I mean, at the same time, it's also no cause to destroy someone else's. It's no cause for that person to treat other people like shit. So you lost me there. You lost me on that one, because this is very much some this is very much some like OJ apologist level, like the levels of energy here. I don't rock with that. Yeah, like it's like it's kind of like, what was it? I remember when people say, oh well, we shouldn't we shouldn't I guess not protect the people being canceled or being pushed aside. But it's like, well, yeah, but what about the victims? Like this, I don't know. I'm sorry, but Rebel, I'll just let you know, you strike me as someone who doesn't care about the victims, and it's not a good look. It's not a good look. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, we got one here from Tubes the One. Let's see here, man. With the hot 20 says, I watched the video essay about 80s movies producers and how many were trying and failing to basically make themselves known as creatives despite lacking talent. That's how the industry has felt like lately, and this adds to it. No, you're 100% right. People have this thing in their head where they think they know better. They think that, oh, well, and it's funny. I think people miss this. I think people miss this a lot of the time. They miss the point, I think, a lot of the time, is that, when you are adapting a property, and like I said, we'll use the X-Men as an example since what we're talking about. But, you adapt this property, and if you are in the mindset that, well, I'm going to adapt this thing that people want to see, but I'm going to do it my way. And by my way, I mean, I like all the stuff about it that I think is stupid or silly, I'm going to leave out, and it's basically going to be unrecognizable to the thing people actually want to see. I would point no further than the Mario movie, the Super Mario movie from the 90s. I would look, or what was it? The never released or never even made Black Panther movie that was supposed to star Wesley Snipes, that when later on we learned that movie was going to be unrecognizable.
I thought you were talking about Batgirl.
Oh, well,
that's what you were going to go with.
No. No, I was thinking about that Wesley Snipes Black Panther that everybody wished had gotten made. I'm sorry. No, y'all do not want that to have gotten made. It would not, like, I'll be honest, that movie probably would have hurt the brand. Or, like I said, let's take you another example. Steel. Unrecognizable to the comic that it is.
You're a disgusting man.
I'm just saying.
Steel into this conversation.
Yeah.
And I don't instigate. Stop putting instigate in the chat. Stop doing that. Because y'all want me to say so. I'm not.
It is what it is.
It's not instigating.
Okay, I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it at that. Rebel, did I say she was a victim? No, I said they're both trash. This is how I know motherfuckers don't pay attention. Motherfuckers don't pay attention. We literally just said they're both trash, but you're focusing on the guy. You're focusing on the guy in the situation. And once again, I'm just going to say this and I'm going to leave you alone after this. You are telling on yourself. So there you go. Anyway.
Ernie, he's a therapist, though.
I don't give a fuck. You're a bad therapist. You're a bad therapist. I pray for your patience. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be real with you on that one.
I'll give y'all that one. That was an instigate. I give y'all that one.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, if you are a therapist, I would never want to sit in your chair. I would never want to sit in your chair. Yeah, you would have motherfuckers thinking that they're above reproach. And I'm sorry, that's just not okay. It's not okay. Not okay, not even by a long shot. Anyway, moving on. We've also got another one. 2's1 here with the 5 says X of example of Disney's shadiness, the Owl House cancellation and didn't fit the Disney brand excuse. Exactly. Well, you put that shit on Disney. You thought it fit the brand when you put the motherfucker on. So clearly it fit the brand at the time. Oh, you didn't like conversations it was starting. That's what that was.
What is Owl House? I've never heard of that.
It was an animated series. It was an animated series on Disney Plus that was actually pretty. It was such a weird one because it was actually incredibly inclusive. And I don't think Disney knew what to do with that. I don't think they knew what to do with that. We're also going to take a trip back down memory lane because we also have some stuff on the Streamlabs side. We got Lavessa the Samurai with the 10 says, what up, happy Saturday, fellas. Got the whole weekend off, so now I might be able to tackle my backlog of games. Maybe, LOL.
Okay, there it is. Okay, I'm finna say, I'm gonna pray for you then, because Lord have mercy.
Bobby Coltrane said it. We will never see Fillmore again. I'll see it. I got that motherfucker, so I'll see it. Oh, by the way, Carter, did you hear about how they're taking Voltron Legendary Defender off Netflix?
No.
I actually got into a conversation with David Nakayama, the cover artist. David Nakayama about it. It was kind of funny. But yeah, because it was a very illuminating conversation. But basically, Netflix doesn't own. It's an original series, but it was by DreamWorks, so technically they don't have the rights to it. But people are saying maybe it'll wind up on Peacock or some shit. But this is why we say streaming services are bullshit. You are ping-ponging my shit around, so I have to go get this streaming service now if I want to watch the thing. Fuck y'all. Anyway, but no.
Okay. Appreciate that, Gavin. I actually want to watch that show now. He said the creator of Owl House worked on Gravity Falls. I really enjoyed Gravity Falls. So damn, I never heard of Owl House. Okay.
I think you'd like Owl House. I think. By the way, what's up, Gavin? Hey, speaking of, hopefully I get to catch you at MCX. Let's see. Oh shit! Right here. We have also got. Wait, is this here? Oh, here it is. LP3 with the 10 says, I understand Bo's frustration of why he was so seeds of disinterest, but to me, his perspective implies that there aren't others who can do right by the show. There's a chance we could witness new talent that can also make this show great. Thoughts? Well, no, that's the thing, and we actually kind of talked about it a little bit. He does actually hope the show. Well, this was from like 40 minutes ago.
Oh,
it's from 40 minutes ago. But yeah, it was from a little while ago. But yeah, we addressed it, but without addressing it. No, he isn't saying that like no one can do it right. He's just saying that there are people in place who clearly want to do it wrong. Like, and what he's saying is, it's not to say that there aren't animators or people on the writing staff or people in the voice acting cast that don't want to do it right. No, he's talking about someone who is at the very top. Someone who basically was was right next to him when he was on the show. That's basically what he's
it sounds about. Like there are people there who are trying to do what Bo was trying to do, but he's more so making it a point to let you know that there are people against them, just like they were against me.
Yes.
That's what that sounds like.
Yes. Okay. We've also got one here. I'm Gregor D with the 499 says, they're gonna low-key do an Aunt Viv for season 2. Man, bruh. This is on Viv vibes. vibes. Not gonna lie. We also got WraithX7 with the 5 says the second season of X-Men 97 might end up being like Avengers Assemble, where that animated series was crap compared to the awesome Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And that's honestly why I lament the cancellation of Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And I want to make it clear, the reason why the show was canceled, and this isn't me speculating. This isn't like, oh, Blerd's making shit up. No, it was literally stated. The reason why they canceled the show wasn't because it wasn't popular. It was because they wanted to have an animated series for children that looked more like the MCU.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was the reason. It smacked of Young Justice energy. It smacked of Young Justice. Like, remember when they canceled Young Justice the first time?
Well, no, I remember hella people used to talk about Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I just wasn't fortunate enough to watch it, but I would constantly hear people talking about the show. But when I saw Avengers Assemble, I thought that was just the sequel series to it. Until everybody else pretty much collectively shook their head like you shaking your head right now. No, Avengers Assemble was ass.
Oh no. Matter of fact, you remember when Edgar Wright was supposed to do Ant-Man?
Yes.
There was an episode of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes that he posted. He posted a screenshot from that he said was basically the inspiration for his film.
Oh wow. Okay.
And that's how everyone knew before they actually officially announced if it was going to be Hank Pym or not as Ant-Man. That was how folks knew early that it was going to be Scott Lang, because it was the episode where Scott Lang steals the Ant-Man suit and uses it to perform a heist. That's how people knew what was coming. That's how people knew. Let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, and Gavin right here just kind of like, just kind of buttressing the point we were making right here. Earth's Mightiest Heroes was old school multi-episode arc storytelling. Good shit. No, you would literally were getting like episode of this, like, they did Kree Skrull War, for Christ's sakes. They did, dude, that's all you need. They actually had the balls to do Kree Skrull War.
Okay. Do you have that on your
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do.
Okay. I just remember people kept recommending Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yep.
And I know they said that Avengers Assemble, and I think there was like a Hulk show that everybody said was trash too.
Bruh, that is crazy. That is crazy.
It was something it was a whole team of Hulks or something. I heard it was bad too. I don't know that one though.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that one.
That was
Hulk and the Agents of Smash.
Yeah, that
was a gross name.
It was yeah, because I think it was like Hulk, Red Hulk, She-Hulk, A-Bomb. Maybe I think Scar might have. I never watched it. I just knew about it. Yeah. Elite X1, Hive Mind. Jesus Christ. We also got Kwame Taylor with the 499 says season 3 might be screwed, but Apocalypse story, past, present, and future is a can't miss. I mean, here's the thing. I think, okay, here's what I'm hopeful for. I think season 2 might turn out okay. It's actually season 3 I'm more worried about. Because I feel like there's some shit, they may have thrown out Bo's script for season 2, but I think there's some things they just can't avoid. So I think at worst, season 2 will just be more season 1. Or it's not like, or it'll be one of those situations where people are saying it's not better than season 1, but it's not exactly bad. Is what I wait a minute, what is this? Oh, that has nothing to do with what we're doing. So I'm gonna let that ride. Oh wait, I know what it is. I know it. Okay. It was the thing for the chat. There we go. Okay. Got it.
Gotcha.
We're good. Everything's fine. We also got the $2 super chat here from Ed Boy and Cuss Carter. Have you been on Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2? I love it. Yeah, I meant to ask you about that. Have you I haven't talked to you about Space Marine.
Because I appreciate when people don't, because I don't have it yet. I have been really hesitant to get it because of the PC stuff I was telling you about with the CPU and GPU stuff. And
Yeah, I heard that shit was lighting CPUs on fire. Jesus.
you know, and I really wanted to more so get that game on console so that a good friend of mine, could play it, so I could introduce him to that world and stuff. I did the same thing with him with Helldivers, and he just loves Helldivers because of that. But it's just I keep seeing console performance is kind of hit or miss, so I've been hesitant to spend. Plus, I didn't know that game was $70. I thought it was like $59.
Oh no, they busting heads.
Just with the performance issues I've heard about it, I've been really hesitant to get it. But the past like 2-3 days, I've had people constantly bringing that shit up in conversation, and I put it in my cart like 3 or 4 times, and just seeing this $2 super chat.
Boy, you better get on CD keys. Well, you better get on CD keys.
Well, see, and that's the problem, because I could very easily get it on PC, no problem. But because I want to help a nigga out at the same time, I want to get it on console as well. So it's just like, God damn it,
man.
But yeah,
dude, let me tell you,
I'm probably gonna. You all will know when I get it because I'm going to stream it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I haven't done it yet, man. So if you get it on console, let me know. Yeah. I'll get it on console because I haven't played. I think I kind of talked about it before. The reason why I haven't bought it yet is just because the discourse around the game I do not like, and I'm just one of those people. I can't separate myself from that shit sometimes, and I just don't want to be a part of it. So I'm just kind of waiting till I was gonna wait until the hype around it died down and then just play it and enjoy it of my own volition. Because I
discourse.
Someone claiming to be a part of the studio responded, I think to it was either Asmongold or a video Asmongold was responding to or reacting to, and basically claimed to be one of the lead devs or like one of the heads of the dev team.
Okay, yeah, I know you're talking about now. I know you're talking about now.
And he was basically talking. He was basically talking about like he basically said a bunch of dumbass like problematic shit about we just wanted to go back to a time where like masculinity wasn't shunned in video games. Like I was like, dude, okay. I said, do y'all have like a Slack? Is there like a Chud Slack that we don't know about where they just say, hey, talk about whenever you make your online content, you comment anywhere, make sure you talk about masculinity. Make sure you talk about because that's what everyone's been talking about lately. Is because when the whole thing about Ghost of Yote came out, they're like, man, I think someone said something so stupid talking about how, imagine taking a game built off of masculinity and putting a woman as the main character. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, y'all.
I'm gonna tell you about Ghost of Yote that I'm actually excited about, and that actually reminded me I need to finish Ghost of Tsushima. I was watching someone stream of the State of Play, Maximilian, and his homeboy Kenny was there, and he made a comment that just sold me on that game. That motherfucker, we're watching the trailer, and he just goes, "Man, this looks like some fucking Blue Eye Samurai shit."
Yeah,
that sold me on the game right there. I said, I didn't even think about that. I said, yep, because that is totally how I'm gonna play that game now. It's just Blue Eye Samurai, the fucking video game. I'm gonna play the hell out of that game when it comes out, dog.
When I saw the trailer, like, because I didn't watch the State of Play, I was just watching everything as like after the fact. And I saw the trailer, it said Ghost of Yote. I didn't I'm gonna tell you how dumb my ass was. I was not thinking about Ghost of Tsushima on any level. Mutual friend of ours, Gold Cartridge Gamer, had even so much has hinted to me that there was probably going to be some Ghost of Tsushima news coming out. But I just, for whatever reason, it was blocked out of my memory bank. So I thought it was its own thing. And when I saw the main character with the big hat and having the 2 swords and also just recognizing that it was a female character, I actually was thinking like, oh shit, I was like, they making a Blue Eye Samurai game? Yeah. That was my thought process. And then when it said Ghost of Yote and I saw the font, I was like, this is a Ghost of Tsushima sequel.
If that character has a single sword stance and that sword could possibly be made from meteorite, I'm gonna play that shit like it's Blue Eye Samurai.
Look, I'm looking for some white man. there will be no white people in the game, but I'm gonna promise you, there gonna be an Englishman I'm gonna be looking for. Best believe I will like the whole time. I'm like, where that motherfucker at? They'll be like, hey, there are no white people in this game. I don't care. He in here. I'm coming to get him. I'm coming to get him. Look, I'm gonna be like Booker T on WCW. Like, Hogan, we coming for you. Oh shit. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm out of pocket. Let's get back to, we got some more. We got one here from Gillis Mo out here with the 1999 super chat. Says, I have to say, I really enjoy when we can have harder conversations on the stream, can express our understanding and still be able to move the conversation forward. Much respect. Thank you. Salute. That right there. Thank you for that. And that's the thing. I think as adults, we don't do this enough. People are too afraid to talk about a thing for fear that it's going to cause a problem. And personally, I am of the belief that avoiding something is only going to lead to more problems. And here's the thing, and we can agree or disagree. We can agree or disagree, or we can agree to disagree, whatever. But at the end of the day, we have to be able to talk about the thing. Otherwise, what is this all for? And I think, like, when it's kind of like, Rob and I talked about this on Nerds of Culture the other day. A red flag for me when I go to somebody's Twitch stream, because I know, like, some of you are familiar with how Twitch functions. Like, when you go to somebody's Twitch stream, before you can actually say something in the chat for the first time, there's usually like a little thing about the rules of the chat.
Yeah.
Whenever I see no politics, I get concerned. I get a little crumb. Like, it's not a big one. I just get. As a matter of fact, when I see it, I don't say anything in the chat. I lean back for a little bit, and I watch the chat. I don't pay attention to the streamer. I watch the chat, and I see and I watch and wait to see what people talk about. And once I see what they're talking about, if I start noticing that I see that like, if it looks like a duck and it smells like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it must be a duck, then I hit that control W. I hit that control W on the tab. If it doesn't, if it just seems like it's just one of those things where, like, they just don't, like, because it's not to say that everyone who does that is, inherently a bad person, but there's a certain type of person who typically does it more often than not. And I recognize sometimes that, I would say 9 times out of 10, or actually I'd be more fair, 8 times out of 10, it's usually someone who, probably has some fucked up ass views, and they know that if they express those fucked up ass views, they will lose fans. I have on this channel said multiple things that are unpopular, and honestly are probably the reason why I have not grown as much as I probably could have. But I would rather be honest than be a liar, or hide my true intentions. I don't think you should express every fucking dumbass thought that you have in your head as a person, but sometimes it's okay. Gavin said they usually rhyme with hot C's. Yeah. Usually. Yeah. And I also agree with Beastmaster here. Yeah, brand friendly channels doing it is one thing. Yeah, yeah. If you're like a brand, I'm not going to think too hard about it, because I know what you're doing. You're hedging the bets. You're trying to just stay as apolitical as possible. But when when a regular ass person does it, like, they're not a brand, they're not affiliated with this, is like, nah, man, I get concerned. Wait, LP3 said the Blerd cave was always grown as hell. That's a good thing. Yeah, and we try. I mean, I think we do. Carter, I think we do a good job. I would say.
I think we do.
I think we do better than most. I think we do better than most. You know what? I think on that note, I think we can get into our recommended. What do you say? What do you say, Carter? What say you? What say you, sir?
Let's do that because we've been. This is something like I want to say one Blerd cave back. We actually had a nice little conversation on where you weren't too fond of some things about this new company. I wasn't fond about some things when it pertained to this company. But what we're recommending this week is a friend of the show, a buddy of mine. We're actually going to be recommending a distillery book for y'all this week.
After we talk some shit.
And here's the thing: the one point that I made, and Ernie co-signed that as well, was that we're talking about the practices and not the level of quality in the books.
Correct.
So with what we're recommending this week is going to be a book called The Missionary from one of my favorite artists, Ryan Stegman and Jason Howard. You all know that I love when artists that everyone knows just for their art alone start taking chances and put the drawing pen down, put the writing pen down, and then we get a Daredevil from Chip Zdarsky and the like. Wait, what?
No, I was laughing at what Gavin said.
We dealing with that though. I just saw it.
He said,
audio files. You just got to be here live.
You got to be here live.
Be laughing at. But
I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better, Gavin. I'm trying.
I didn't mention one of the founding members of the Ginyu Force at any point today. I behaved. I didn't bring up the Ginyu Force or their main member one time today. Gavin brought up that dastardly fiend from the Ginyu Force. I didn't say a fucking thing.
Wait. He said else I had way worse in this chat than anywhere else. Hey, I understand. Yeah. Hey, you look, you are in a safe space here. Look, go off. Okay. We ain't gonna judge you.
And see, Jasmine just had to make it worse and talk about that dastardly fiend. Listen, The Missionary by Ryan Stegman and Jason Howard. I don't want to go too much into what the book is about because, of course, we want y'all to take y'all asses out there and fucking read it. Yes. But I will say this: the main gentleman on the cover here. This brother just had a bad go of it. I'm gonna give you a little bit. Wait, I'm gonna
put up one panel. I'm gonna put up because I want to make something very clear here too. To buttress what Carter just said. Mm-hmm. I want you to go read the book because for one, I'm a fan of Ryan Stegman. He's a friend of the channel. Yes. I think he does fantastic work. We both think the same thing. It actually makes me angry sometimes that I don't get to watch his live streams when he does he still do the Stegman and Friends live stream?
So I think they're just podcast forms. He hasn't done live streams in a minute, which I have a problem with, but I can't say anything to him about it because he's not coming to LA Comic-Con this year, I don't think. I didn't see his name. I didn't see his name on the guest list. So yeah, man, I'm kind of sad. I miss those streams. I miss being, and not just because I was in them. Or we were in them.
Right.
It's just
they were fun.
Those streams are funny as shit. They were funny as fun.
Also, well, because Ryan is a funny dude. Like he's actually a really man. I don't want to sound ugly when I say this, but some of y'all might remember we had Donnie Cates and Ryan Stegman on to talk about Vanish, and one of the things that actually, dude, the thing I actually thought was here. The thing I thought I would never say after that interview.
Mm-hmm.
And this ain't any shade at Donnie because Donnie was awesome. I actually wish I recorded. I would have recorded the conversation before.
Off to this day, anytime that is brought up, because there is so much shit that happened on that episode that y'all don't know because it happened before we started. Because we were actually being respectful. We didn't want to hit record without them not knowing that we were recording something. But the conversations and back and forth that were happening with me and Donnie Cates, where Ryan and Ernie just could not control themselves from fucking laughing, was hilarious.
We were going off. But no, I just want to say the thing I never thought I would say after it was all over was that I actually expected Donnie to be the wild man of the group.
Yeah.
It is not to say he wasn't.
Yeah, Donnie is absolutely the wild man.
Oh, yes.
Ryan Stegman is that person who he's the one at the party who will say the slick shit.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then 100% straight face though. But he the one that'll say that he almost like Morph from X-Men 97.
Yeah.
Like that's Ryan Stegman's ass. It's like y'all will be sitting there and he'll be the one to just jab your ass with the knife real quick.
He'd be like, man,
and it
dude.
just catches you off guard. It just absolutely catches you off guard.
He's like, damn,
But
man,
what-
Rogue and Magneto are getting their training in, man. Like, But no, I just want to say real quick, I'm going to show this one panel because I do want y'all to read this. This first issue was really good. And
First, you were fucking nuts. It was wild.
And the thing is, honestly, I don't even know if I can show you any more of it because some wild shit in this book. But I'm gonna just pull up this one panel, and this panel sets it's the first panel you see.
Yeah.
In the
This
book.
is probably what I'm gonna talk about because I don't want to go about the whole story, but I can tell you this part. Yeah.
This right here.
This is our main character.
Our main
Good old
character.
Bryce.
This is some nasty work right here. I was like, bruh, no.
Okay, for all you
this man
audiophiles.
didn't.
For what Ernie is showing currently right now is the main character of the missionary number one. His name is Bryce. His name it's basically his inner monologue where he's saying, "My name is Bryce Hunter, and I've never gotten a blowjob." Now, this is all I will tell you all about this goddamn story. It'll be for you all to read it and figure out the rest. And we both recommend it. But
yes.
Bryce is not having a very good day.
No, he is not.
Imagine you're someone who's never gotten a blowjob, but you see your wife mid gobble on the pastor of the church giving all the dome action, giving a tour to the pastor of the church. So not only do you have to see that, but you also get possessed by a damn demon right after. So not only do you have to see your wife cheating with Creflo Dollar himself, you got to get possessed by a demon right after. And I'm not saying nothing else about
That's
this
all
book.
you do. You can't say nothing else. You can't say. Here's the thing. Here's what I want y'all to understand. This is what I want y'all to understand. This man realized that his wife was the gobbledygooker just out here.
That is like the worst. That has to be without question one of the worst days in a man's life. To see the love of your life that you said I do to, in the words of Triple Dot, giving the pastor some tabernacle, only to be possessed by a demon right after.
Wait a minute, not the TD Jakes.
No.
Jakes.
I just saw it and I said it in my head. No.
He's never been swallowed up. God damn it.
No,
Why?
you're not doing it. No, I said it in my head. No.
Why?
I think I ended one of my Twitch streams like that, and I have never forgiven myself for it. No.
Oh, God damn it.
But if any of this feels like a comic that you might be interested in reading, then please, Ryan Stegman, The Missionary, #1 from Distillery, came out this week.
Also, I want to point out something. I saw a tweet. From Ryan Stegman talking
Like
about
how
this
hard
book.
you sweating right now from all your goddamn laughing and swallowed up. I'm not. No.
Wait a
No.
minute here. Wait, do I need to do? Here, let me get
You
this.
gonna have to. You gonna have to.
I'm sorry, y'all. That just it got me. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize for my my behaviors. A little. Anyway, that said,
You gotta do that upper lip too. You
Oh,
gotta do that upper lip.
wait,
You know
yeah,
they
here.
always did the upper lip. There you go.
look at the. Wait a minute. But here's the thing though. For me, that just had me absolutely positively rolling is that Ryan Stegman said he shows all his projects to his mother. And he said this is the first time that she ever just asked him what the fuck was wrong with him. I was like, well, that's an endorsement.
See, and that's
That's
two
an
different
endorsement.
books. That's two different books this week to where I've had completely different feelings about the first couple pages. You got what'd you see? What'd you see?
Give up that mouth for the Lord.
Oh my god.
Oh, God damn, why? Why? Why?
That first page is probably the best thing that we can show you all, but oh my god. That's two completely different feelings I've had from a comic. From the first couple of pages of Hello Darkness to the first couple of pages of this shit.
Dude, look, I'm telling you, this book is fire, but
yeah, you gotta go back to the cover. Go back to the
I gotta go back to the cover. Yeah, I gotta
you gotta get rid of the cover.
I gotta get back to the cover. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh shit, that fucking variant cover that Chip did for him.
Oh, was that that was the one you sent me, right?
Yeah.
Here, let me actually, dude. You know what? I actually meant to save it.
Uh-oh. I gotta make sure okay, it's good in there. Okay.
Yeah. Here. I got it. Bam.
Her face. Oh my, yeah, but this is the variant cover for the missionary that Chip Zdarsky did for him. If it's any indication of what movie that is.
Right? Oh my god, bro.
Face, stop it, Scott Fitzgerald. Her face was as deep as her throat.
Woo!
Stop it. Stop it.
40-year-old virgin. Blessed be thy throat. Oh, God.
And then for the sub tag under the missionary, you doing a 40-year-old virgin cover, but Breaking Bad has never felt so good.
Bro.
She was not a sicko. But yeah,
I love Chip. I love Chip.
The first image book that Ryan Stegman did called The Schlub, that was a really fun
That was another
story.
one, yeah.
But this one, he seems to be going more demons and demonic and stuff, but just with all of the distillery books that I've seen so far, they all seem to be 3 issues. So I have
3.
I think it'd be fair to say that this one will just be a nice little 3-issue story. So it's not a lot for you all to have to invest into. No. Just a really fun story from Ryan Stegman. And if this foolishness that you all have been listening to and watching is any indication, that'd be a good book for you all to spend some money on. I'm actually gonna go get it. I read it yesterday, but I'm actually gonna go pick it up because I think my comic shop actually got some more in. They just let me read somebody's reservation of it.
Okay, got you.
They had in the shop, so I'm actually gonna go pick up my issue of it. And I now have a distillery book in the crib. So
I mean, look, I know. Look, I want to be clear on something. I know we talked some Cash Money shit about distillery last week.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, and I think what got lost in translation is that I don't even think we said anything bad about the books themselves. I think it was just like it was the pricing, it was the sale model of it.
It was the practices of it, not the quality of the books. Because I said it several times. The Becky Cloonan joint. Like it got a fucking Eisner for a reason.
Yeah. That was Somna?
Somna.
Yeah, Somna. Yeah.
That's a freaking cool book right there. And that's a horror book too. That's a horror book too.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yep.
But again, the quality and the talent that they have is not the problem. It's the practices and the ways they're going about getting those products and that quality to you all. That's the thing that needs to be remedied and fixed and tweaked a little bit.
Yes.
Yes, the are we paying for the Eisner? Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Wait a minute.
Got to be a Blerd Cave moment of the year right there.
That really is.
For the
Are
Eisner?
we paying for the Eisner? I feel so nasty for having even said that. Like what you see?
So, this will be a good little segue for you. This was a comment from Brian Smith. He said, I saw this on Global Comics and I saved it to my library. Ernie, what you know about Global Comics, my guy?
It's funny that you say that. It's funny you say that. You know, there's this, you guys have probably never heard of it. This is this little company. It's a little startup, nothing major, nothing too crazy. But yeah, there's this little thing called Global Comics, and it just so happens that your boy is a Global Comics partner. I'm partnered with the Global Comics. And it just so happens as well that yes, you can in fact get distillery comics at Global. As a matter of fact, I'm actually pulling this up right now so you guys can see for yourself.
Mhm.
Yes, you can in fact. Here, actually, let's do it like this. I should have just looked it up this way as opposed to the way that I actually tried because it was not having it. But yes, you can pick up distillery comics. You can pick up comics from Dark Horse, Boom Studios. You can pick up comics from Image. Yeah, Image Comics, yeah. Dynamite. And well, I don't want to give away all the tea. I can't give away all the tea. I know some things. I have it on good authority about some things that you could probably some comics you can expect to see down the road. But just know that yeah, there are a lot of good comics out there. And as a matter of fact, if you go to the Global Comics app, if you look it up, it's on. I actually need to I'm gonna make a QR code for that. I need to do that. Okay. So apologies. Apologies there. I endeavor to be better. But basically, the long and short of it is, if you go to the website. Or if you go to the app and you use the promo code GCX Blerd without fear, you will get 33% off of your first 1 year subscription. You get 33% off. It's usually I think normally they cut you in for $79.99. It's normally $89.99 for a 1 year subscription, but they are actually, because they fuck with me, so and I fuck with y'all, so I'm passing these savings on to you. You can get your first year for $59.99. And this is, I honestly, I would actually dare say, this is probably my preferred way as of late to keep up and read a lot of different comics. Oh, you know why I couldn't find it?
Make that money back. Why not?
Well, I realized why I wasn't able to find it at first, because I was looking under distillery, not Image, because distillery technically is it is still technically Image Comics, more or less. Just but
you all are gonna make that money back from that $59.99 quick. Y'all gonna make that money back easy if y'all are reading books as much as I think you all are gonna be reading these books. So
right,
that's a fucking steal.
Well,
and you know what?
Yeah,
that saves y'all gas money on driving to these shops. Y'all ain't stuck in traffic no more because y'all got Global Comics.
You do, and well, I'll also point out here. I'm gonna pull this up just because I couldn't find it on here just now, for whatever reason, it's being lame. But here, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this here. Do I have right here? Boom, there we go. So right here, you can see right here, these are some of the comics you can look at on there. And once again, when you get the 1 year subscription, that doesn't mean you can read a little bit of comics. It means you can read all the comics. And they actually have some really cool filters on here. You can kind of see here on the side. They have some really cool filters where you can say, hey, I'll go to the top just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. You can get comics for adults, comics for teens, comics for kids. You can look up aliens. You can look up BIPOC, anti-hero. You can look up fighting, gangs, girls love, interdimensional, isekai, LGBTQ, martial arts, mecha, whatever. You can put in all the filters you want, but the point of the matter here is that you can literally run through a whole world of comics. And to my understanding, and let me actually pull up, let's see here. I'm going to pull up my library real quick. Because you can also, that's another thing I think a lot of people do not know is that you can also like you have certain comics that you just you want to check out, whatever. You can save them to like your to your reading list, and like anytime like a new book comes up, you can just go and read it to your heart's content. And here, let me see, where's here we go. Bam. Yeah, I know. My phone is trying to tell me things. Let's see here. Here we go. The desktop app is a bit different than the app. I'm actually more used to the phone app version of it. But basically, yeah, all you really just need to know, if you want to do graphic novels, if you want to, actually, I can't show this page because they got some stuff on here I can't show. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm actually glad I didn't have it pulled up.
You ain't got no business.
No. I went to their graphic novel section, and I'm just gonna describe what I saw. It was a comic where someone wasn't wearing no pants. They had their shirt pulled up, and you just saw 2 scoops of cheeks for the world to see. But yeah, no, point of the matter is, yeah, you can get all those amazing things. There's also, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link in the description. If you click that link, it'll just take you straight to the site, and you can sign up there, get that 33% off. I will go ahead and say up front, if you do this, you like, I get a cut. I get a cut for that. So you not only are you supporting the people who have made these comics, I get a little taste. I get a little taste of it. So I'll be fully transparent there in that regard. But yes, I think it's a worthwhile thing because, like I said, I've been reading Transformers on there. I've been reading Something's Killing the Children. I've actually been going back and reading Hellboy because they just recently added Dark Horse comics. And when I say Dark Horse, they didn't add a little bit of Dark Horse, they added all the Dark Horse. So that also means I can read Minor Threats on there as well. I can read Something's Killing the Children because Boom Studios is on there. I probably could have read that one book that Carter talked about earlier, but I will not because goddamn. But yes, you can literally read just about everything on there. The only thing that is not on there presently is Marvel and DC. You're gonna have to go to the shop for that. But hopefully in the future, maybe, who knows? But I mean, they have been adding a ton of publishers. You've got Dark Horse, Boom, Image, Dynamite, AWA, so on and so forth. A lot of good ones out there. So I highly recommend, please. Matter of fact, as a matter of fact, if for whatever reason, if you say, hey man, that missionary y'all were talking about, go on Global Comics and they'll take care of you. They'll take care of you. And also tell them the Blerd Without Fear sent you. There you go. That said, I said, what's the title, please? Y'all ain't shit. Here, I'm gonna tell you the title. The title is called, oh god, it seems this is called Bonnie Bounce. It's called Bonnie Bounce. If you go to the graphic novels, if you go to the website, or if you're on you're on your phone, if you go to the graphic novels section, it'll probably be one of the first things you see. Also, you know what? This is another thing. I don't talk about this enough. You may have noticed this when I was you may have noticed this when I had it pulled up, but there's also a button on the Global Comics app that you can press if you are a aspiring comic book creator. You can actually publish comics of your own on Global Comics. But yeah, that's here. I'm gonna pull this up on here. Let's see. Trying to see if I can actually find the thing. But yeah, basically, there's also I've seen a lot of people who like publish their stuff on there, so it is worth the time of day. It is definitely worth the time of day. That was the other time I was talking about. Local Man. That's also where I've been reading Local Man lately.
Yeah.
Because it is, in fact, on there. But yeah, there's comics on there for everybody. All you got to do is just go do the thing. Oh, LLU ain't shit. That motherfucker when he said, body is thick. I can't tell you what the comic is about because I did not click on it, but I saw it. Bounce with two B's. I don't know. No. It's just but it should be. It should be. Ain't nothing but a sexy Velma. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. But let's get into we got questions from the Discord, Carter. We have
We can actually go through this relatively quick because we only had one question in there.
Oh, let's go. Then that is all we will answer.
There we go. Okay. First question, our first and only question from the Discord, which if you all want your questions answered live on here that Saturday, Friday, I'm just gonna start reminding people if y'all got some questions you all want us to answer live, if they're not fucking ridiculous, do them Friday. We can answer them Saturday, but too late now. So Qdoma's question is, what do we think will be the outcome with Nintendo going after Pal World? If for everyone that does not know, Nintendo is currently going after the Pal World devs for basically like gimmick infringement and things like that. From a lot of the stuff that I looked into when it came to that, it was so when it comes to the US and international stuff, Pal World has no problems. It's more so in Japan where they're going to have a lot of issues going back and forth with Nintendo. If a lot of you all don't know that Pal World just recently released on PlayStation 5, and it released on PlayStation 5 everywhere but Japan because of what's currently going on. So I do know that several people have been interviewed in regards to this when it comes to patents and things like that. And a lot of people don't really think it's going to go anywhere, but it could just be a long court back and forth. And with Nintendo having money to burn,
and this company not.
So who knows where it's going to go. I personally don't have a dog in that fight because I don't play Power World, and my Switch is used for everything but Pokemon. So again, I don't know where it could go. I think this is more negative press for Nintendo in regards to how they do certain things, just because this reminds me of, all the people that try to run Smash Brothers tournaments at all these gaming events, and then Nintendo put a stop to that because they didn't want them there, or they wanted a bigger piece than a lot of these fighting game communities and the fighting game events were wanting to give them. So they just killed it as a whole, so you can't do them anymore.
Correct.
I know there were people that were doing like fan-made Metroid games where they were just releasing them for free. It wasn't doing anything, wasn't bothering anybody. They were just a fan of Metroid and wanted to do their own little spin on things, and then Nintendo sent them a cease and desist with that. So I think this is just a lot more negative stuff for them, which they tend to ignore because we have Mario and Pokemon, and y'all gonna buy them regardless. Y'all sit there and y'all complain about us, but y'all waiting for a Switch 2, which is the case for a lot of people. It's unfortunate, but that's the case. So I think the outcome will be either Nintendo will get bored and just leave these people alone, or Power World will be more of an international thing as opposed to a Japan thing for as long as that could last for them until they do something else. But I think there was another game that was looking more so like it was trying to put its name in the ring against Power World. But who the fuck knows, man? Honestly, Ernie, what do you think?
I mean, honestly, I've been pretty vocal about this. I think Nintendo is just being petty, but I will say, y'all can say what y'all want about Power World not copying. I don't think here's what I think. I think Power World is fine. I think it's perfectly okay for them to make the game they've made. I will say, though, some of them designs for some of these not Pokemon, these pals, is egregious. Look at this. Look at this. This is a side by goddamn side. Look at that shit. Look at not Luke. Because I'm not going to lie, that was the thing I kept saying all the time when I was playing it. I kept saying that I was like, hey, I wouldn't call these motherfuckers by their name. I say, hey, it's not Lucario. It's not Electabuzz. It's not Pikachu. It's not Bulbasaur. It's not so-and-so.
And that's the thing. Elite X1 saying Power World doesn't even play like Pokemon. That's not the point.
That's not
This
the
is the
point.
point.
Well, I will
This
say
right here is
this.
the point.
I will say this. It doesn't play like Pokemon
You
exactly.
can still collect them and capture them though with,
Is it-
them,
but-
with Pokeball.
Yeah, I'm about to say with not Pokeballs, even down to how you throw the motherfuckers, even down to how there's different types of them, even down to like I tell you what it plays like. The difference is that normally in Pokemon games, you can't fight back. The Pokemon have to do the fighting for you. In this game, you can, in fact, fight back. You can actively attack the not Pokemon in question. I will also say that it is in a lot of ways very reminiscent to me, not so much of like your core Pokemon games. It reminds me a lot of Pokemon Legends Arceus, in so much as that you can walk side by side with your not Pokemon. You can have active, like, real-time battles with your Pokemon. You don't cut to a different screen. There's lots of different locales, just like in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Like, honestly, when I saw this game, I was like, it looks like someone just took Pokemon Legends Arceus and just slapped a different coat of paint.
I think that like
Yeah.
because Power World doesn't play like Pokemon,
Yeah.
because
It's
they
art,
look so
but
similar.
Pokemon.
Yeah, because they look so similar, that's why I think that Nintendo is doing this, because they have this they can grab onto because they look so
Yes.
similar, and this is more so to just like put them into like a monetary submission, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
We more so just want to just because we don't like how similar they look, and everybody knew that this was supposed to be Pokemon with guns. We just gonna waste all that money that you all could have spent on more development for the game to this court battle until it just beats you into submission. That's what
it's to put him out of business 100%.
Yeah.
This is what they call lawfare. This is what they call legal lawfare. That's basically what this is. Personally, I don't care. I don't have a dog in the fight on this one, because I think Pokemon has been trash for quite some time. They've been handing out lazy side dick and calling it new video game titles for I don't know how long. They're not giving you the full stroke. They are giving you the lazy side dick when it comes to like every game is like not even a half step forward. It's usually like a quarter step or a 1/64th step. It's never like was it Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I think was like the last one. That game was not even that much further advanced than Pokemon Sword or Shield. Or whatever. I think there was a game in between that. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, basically, yeah, they don't do anything. They don't reinvent the wheel. And honestly, I beat Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Could not tell you what the fuck the story of that game was, because I literally did not care. I just wanted to collect Pokemon. And it is a very different type of game. It's more of a survival game. So in that respect, yeah, it definitely doesn't play. I don't think it plays like Pokemon, just in so much of the bare fact that if you've ever played Pokemon Legends Arceus, yeah, the mechanics of how you catch Pokemon are about the same.
And
They're
the fact
about
that
the
you
same.
can say the fact that you can say that, I think that's what they're grabbing onto to try to wring all that money out that they can in a legal battle.
Yeah, that's all it is. And honestly,
it's nasty. It's nasty.
Yeah, I don't even think. Here's the thing, and I think this is what a lot of people miss when I say this. I don't even think they have a case. I don't think they have. Like, they would have, like, if they actually sued them on the merit that a lot of their not Pokemon look eerily like a lot of Pokemon's. Well, Pokemon.
Yeah.
Then I would say you might have a case. You might have a case. But this is also, it's funny. I was watching the Vince McMahon documentary, so this is why this is so funny to me. There's a part in the Vince McMahon documentary, Mr. McMahon, where they talk about how Vince talks about how he felt about how WCW almost put WWE out of business. And he talks about it in such a way where he's talking like, oh, they were trying to hurt us. They went too hard after us. They did this, they did that. I know I'm out of pocket. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all, but no, he used here. I'm gonna give myself a danger for everything I said prior about lazy side. Danger. So here's the thing. He talked about WCW and how what they did was so nefarious that Ted Turner had all the money and was basically using his billions to because he knew that WWE didn't have the money to fight them back on a monetary level. But the thing that's actually pointed out in that documentary is that Vince did to that WCW was doing to Vince what Vince did to the territories.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the same fucking and here's the thing. And Vince, when this was actually brought to his attention in the documentary, he refused to see it the same way. He was like, no. What I did was competition. I wasn't trying to actively put anybody out of business, but you did. And you did it because that was what you wanted to do. You're trying to clutch your pearls because now the shoe is on the other foot. And I'm saying all this because that's what Nintendo is doing. Nintendo is okay. Pokemon is not original. Pokemon's not original. You could easily make a case. Yeah, you can easily make a case that Pokemon ripped off other IP to make what they and you would not be wrong.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said.
Yeah, you would not be wrong.
He said Pokemon stole the design of creatures from Dragon Quest.
Yes.
A
whole they didn't even file the serial numbers off.
And I like what Gavin said here. He I don't like when Nintendo does all this, but Power World was playing with fire. They had to have known this was a possibility. And that's what a lot of people were saying when them trailers came out. Like, bruh.
They knew.
Like, y'all really begging for it.
Like,
so
look, it would be no different. It would be no different if one day I put out a YouTube video talking about my new comic coming out called The Justice Team, starring characters like Super Person and
the Blerd without beard.
The Blerd without beard. Right. Like, dude, it's like you are literally, I would literally be asking for DC to come and shut my shit down. I would literally be asking for it. Like you wanted the smoke. You clearly wanted the smoke. You knew, and I'm not gonna lie. I actually don't have any sympathy. Like I can feel two things at the same time. While I think that Nintendo is out of pocket for what they are doing, I think Nintendo is egregiously out of pocket for what they are doing in regards to how they're using legal lawfare against this company. This company asked for it. They asked for the smoke. They came out with a game that they knew. So I have sympathy for them, but at the same time, I'm like, look, man, y'all, like, I'm sorry. You don't make a shot across the bow like that and not expect somebody to fire back. It was the same thing that happened. Like I said, this is literally WWE WCW. This is literally what this is. Upstart company comes in and starts shooting shots. And eventually, Nintendo, in this case, WWE, is going to fire back. For better or worse. For better or worse. Not saying it's right. Not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying,
doing some shit.
Yeah.
Where you kept doing some shit to where at some point your mama is gonna get your ass.
Oh yeah.
And Nintendo finally got to that point.
Yep.
Where they got home from work and pulled out the belt.
They said, all right. They pulled that they did that house party. They said, oh, you thought I forgot. Wake your ass up out the bed. But no, the thing about that is though. The thing about that is though. With Digimon, you can say, well, why didn't they go after Digimon like that? I'm pretty sure it's because Digimon was. Here's the thing about Digimon.
They were digital monsters.
Not to mention, they didn't all look like ripoffs. I mean, to be fair, a lot of them were ripoffs of Pokemon, but they weren't as close. They weren't as close in look to this, Where like I can look at this motherfucker here on the right and be like, man, look, y'all know that's Lucario.
One of them
Y'all
toys
know that's
came from
Lucario.
Toys R Us, and one of them toys came from Dollar General.
Right? Like it's like Digimon was different. Where Digimon, it's like, yeah, did they have a Digimon that looked like that was probably supposed to be kind of like Charmander? Of course they did. But here's the thing. It didn't look exactly like it. It was legally distinct. Legally distinct. Legally distinct Charmander. But no, it's one of those things. Honestly, I'm like this. Let them fight. Let them fight. Let it all come out in the courtroom. Because honestly, I think that a judge will probably throw this out. I think. But, you know, if I were judge, I'd throw it out. I would give you the same. I would literally say everything I just said. If I was the judge giving like the closing arguments, before I handed down the verdict, I would literally say everything I just said, and then say, but at the same time, this is bullshit. I'm throwing this out. You're wasting the court's time. You're wasting the court's time. We should be handling more important matters. Y'all have a good day. Yes, Nintendo, I said good day. That's how I would handle it. Let's get into we got some questions from the chat. We're gonna move on to questions from the chat, because that's just what we're gonna do here, because we only had the one. First and foremost, we got one here from LP3. Says, question, who is a mid-tier DC character that you believe deserves a Tom King style Black Label series? One that hasn't had much respect on their name yet. Ooh. Mid-tier. Ooh, mid-tier. You know, honestly, I've seen a lot of people talking about this, you know, especially because of the whole Penguin Tom King series. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I would actually like to see, just because of the fact that Joshua Williamson's been doing such good stuff with the character over on his Superman run, I would actually like to see Parasite get kind of maybe not exactly a Tom King style, but like just get a deep dive into Parasite, and like, you know, but I would almost want it to be a little bit closer to like the Vision series. I would love to see something kind of like that, where Parasite's just trying to live his life and just all the pitfalls and things that come along with that. I would like to see something like that. Or, man, Carter, I don't know if you remember this character. I think I have a picture. Do I have a picture for her? I don't think I have one. I'm gonna have to look here. I'm doing a little quick looky look. Oh man, that makes me sad. I actually don't have one for her. I'll have to like pull this up. Do you remember the character Pantha? I think her name was Pantha. Oh man, I might be misremembering. But she was like a character that like I don't think anybody actually remembers. Maybe not. I know she's been in some stuff, like she's been on some animated series.
What? I'm trying to figure out a mid-tier DC character that should get a Tom King style Black Label. One, here's the part that gets me. I do remember that character though. Now that you showed me a picture of him, I remember him now.
Yeah.
One that hasn't had much respect on their name yet. Sideways.
Ooh, there you go. You know, it's so funny too, because they literally are adding a character not saying they have the same power, but just like you're just adding another Sideways-esque character who looks like Spider-Man into DC, but not like taking the one you've already got. I see people bringing up Ragman. I like the idea of Ragman. I like the I'm a little bit late on that one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, we're talking about this is DC's Panther. Different character. She was large I say large in charge. She wasn't really large in charge. But you probably saw her more in like the late 80s, early 90s. I think this is from about around the early 90s. Vixen is also another one. I could make a case for. The thing about Vixen is that like the reason why I don't think about her right away is because she actually has gotten series. It's just that people don't know they exist. But I would like to see a Vixen series. I I would like to see that. Yeah, basically, yeah, she's just Tiger with a mask on. That is not an unfair. That is not an unfair assessment, but that's also why I would love to see more about her. So we have 2 different Panthers and no one copyrighted. I think that's why there's a Panther in Dynamite. I think that I don't know. DC might have let it lapse, is what I'm thinking. Maybe. But yeah. And Jasmine, that's also another reason. I like thinking of Vixen as bubbling under rather than mid-tier. That's another. Because also, here's the thing about Vixen is such a powerful character that honestly, I think she's. I don't want to say she's difficult to write around, but she's a character that like literally has so much possibility. She has so much possibility. Like there's no excuses why. Yeah, I mean, Animal Man, great during New 52. There's no good reason why Vixen didn't get a comic just like Animal Man. Because they kind of do a lot of the same shit. And if you can come up with some shit for Animal Man, you can come up with some shit for Vixen. That's all I'm saying. Osiris says, was it Hear Me Out? Mr. Terrific, but like Tom Strong with his own family doing wild sciencey shit and wrecking shop. I'm not against that. They kind of slick tried to bring Tom Strong back, I think. Around the same time they were doing all like the Terrifics and new age of DC superhero type shit. I think they tried, but like I don't know what happened going from there. I might be misremembering. I easily could see myself misremembering some things there in that respect. That said, we've also got one here from Bill says, question, will Storm #1 be recommended next week once you guys read it on the milestone episode of well actually be 275. You put an extra 100 on us. Woo, we ain't got there. We ain't quite there yet. We almost there though. But it says also, who are influencing Disney execs or higher ups? Would it be the investors? Oh, it's always the investors. Look, let me tell you something. There's always an answer. There's always an answer I will give. Fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders. Fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders. That is always the answer. They have a fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders every time. But yes, I think it's safe to say Storm might be the recommended. Though I tell you what, a lot of times I try not to recommend books that I've done videos for. I try not to. Not because I don't think that they're as good. It's just a lot of times I would rather show you something new than something that obviously you're probably going to check out. But I mean, I will definitely say that, yeah, Storm, just by virtue of the fact that I have a little more insight into it than probably some others might. Yeah, you guys aren't ready. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. Morewa was out here. He like in Southern parlance, he put his whole foot. He put his foot in that book. Just gonna put that out there. We have also got YTube Noob. Says, question, is it time for Marvel to let Peter Parker age out of his 20s with characters like Miles Morales and Briggs Bailey? Marvel has Spider-Man characters to market to a younger audience. No, you're correct. I think Marvel and DC does this too. They're guilty of it as well. The sliding time scale that is used in Marvel and DC, I think needs to be let go. I think we need to let it go. I think all major publications should let the sliding time scale go because you leave these characters trapped in an arrested development. You leave these characters in an arrested development.
I remember something that some people at Blizzard said one time when somebody asked a question about having a World of Warcraft classic something or other.
Yes.
And the guy was asking the people that Blizzard heads this question. And the Blizzard head looked at him and this was at a BlizzCon. Everybody's in there. And the guy looked at him and said, "You think you want that? but that ain't something you want. So that's why we're not doing it. And I feel like that's why Marvel is doing it. Y'all think y'all want it, but y'all don't want it. And case in point, they doing it in Ultimate, and I've seen several people that don't like that book. I enjoy it, but I've seen several reasons why people don't like it. So
it might be right.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't like that shit personally. Don't tell me. Don't act like you think you know what I want, like you in my fucking head. Like, don't tell me some shit like that. So
no, I agree. Is it true that sometimes is the case? Yes, there are instances where people think they want something until they get it. It's the dog who caught the car.
Mm-hmm.
You chased the car, you caught it. Now what?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, also at the same time, try us. You never fucking know.
Exactly.
You never fucking know.
And put effort into it. If you give us a book like that in main Marvel continuity, but you put shoddy writers and some members of the Ginyu Force on it on art duties, then of course that book isn't going to do well. That has nothing to do with us. We want you all to put quality behind it.
Right. Like, I mean, I say it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I wanted to read a Hawkeye comic, and yet here we are.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. Matt Fraction cooked. We got another one here. I'm probably going to answer a couple more of these since we didn't do as many Discord questions because I saw some pretty good ones in here. Gearless Mo with the questions. Blur Without Fear, when can we expect an update on your comic? And Carter presents. Great to see you playing more these days.
Hey, I'm getting the bug again. That's why, again, I have said several times, I don't want Twitch subscribers because I feel like I don't do it as consistent enough to warrant that Twitch subscription. But when you all are in there, we have a blast. We had a blast last week. So yeah, man, just don't be in there lurking. Speak. Say hey. Don't just peek in somebody's window and just see what they doing and then walk off. Speak.
Speaketh thine mind.
Yeah, you can give us an update on that comic, sir. Speaketh on that comic, big dog.
So what I can share is so I think I talked about a 5-page preview. It is not lettered yet. I actually spoke with one of Earth's Mightiest subscribers about lettering. So that is moving forward. I'm gonna be reaching out to Quinn to get the raw file so I can send it in to the letterer, and we'll send out that preview. And right now, Quinn is finishing up on you getting, because y'all may or may not know, the Project Wildfire Kickstarter went through. So he's also going to be focusing on that a little bit to try and get that book out, because it's pretty much, I think at the point that he did the Kickstarter, it was pretty much ready to roll. It just, the funding was needed to get the book printed. And that way he can get the book out, as fast as humanly possible. So once he gets the logistics of that wrapped up, we're actually going back and forth and talking about some things. He's working on the cover, because we wanted to get the cover set in stone, so that way we would have something more concrete to kind of be like, hey, this is to set the tone for and to also to basically let you know that this wasn't going to be a book about Memphis in lip service.
Yeah.
That it was going to be a book that is actually going to what's the best way to put it? I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. As a means to basically, when you look at it, you say, oh shit, I know what this is.
Mm-hmm.
The cover's not finished yet, but like it's almost there. It's almost there. I think he's gonna make a couple more passes at it. What I can also say is that once we, you know what, fuck it, it's my book. I'll do what I want. I'll do what I want. So here's what I'm doing. I'm gonna show you a little something. I've actually shown some stitches. I've shown some stitches of it. So you know what? I'm gonna show you a little more. This right here is this is the first page. I'm gonna show you all the first page. I think I showed like little bits and pieces of it before. Let's see here. Shazam. Here we'll zoom this in just a little bit more. Actually, let's zoom it out a little bit more because it kind of cuts off at a weird point. But like this right here, I actually, you can thank Carter for the name of this. Actually, when we were concepting the 5-page preview, I wanted to call it the head of the table. And the reason why is because this is what's the best way to put this? When Quinn and I were talking about this, like we were talking about the prospect of doing a preview, I said that I was really inspired by one of my favorite Batman TAS episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the one called Almost Got Him. And for those unfamiliar, it's the episode where Joker, Poison Ivy, Penguin, Killer Croc, they're all sitting around, I think Two-Face is there as well. They're all sitting around a table, and they are talking amongst themselves about how they almost got Batman. And each one's trying to say, oh, no. I almost got him. You didn't almost get him. I almost got him. And they each tell a story about how they almost got Batman. I said, so I want to do something where I don't want to give away too much about my main character, but at the same time, I want people to read this and realize that there's a world out there that's bigger than him, but also that while he is the main character, that these other people are characters too. And I also wanted to make it where you could get to know the other characters that you could expect to see in the story, but also still get to know the main character as well, even though you have no clue who he is. So the mission became, I want to do Almost Got Him, but with my main character. So what each of this is in here, I'm going to kind of scroll down here just a little bit so you can see a little bit more. I guess let me give you the setup. So around this table, this table is about a meeting. It's a meeting. It's a meeting between all of the supernatural heavy hitters in Memphis. So, like you see here, you can kind of see my cursor here on the left. These are the werewolves right here. These are the demons. These are the demons. Over here, you can kind of tell, you see like the fairies, kind of behind him. These are the fae. And then you see over here, these are the vampires. And you can't really see her as well down here, but down here, this is a sorceress, a witch. And you see there's this big old chair right here that's sitting empty. That is the main character's chair. That's why it's called head of the table. They are waiting for him to show up because, and you might not be able to see it as well here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You see Beale Street right here. Here, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. You see Beale Street. You see this guy who looks like an Elvis impersonator or whatever. You see BB King.
No, you don't have a Schwab in the...
So they're talking about the logistics. They're talking about the logistics of how do we handle Elvis Week. This is what they're doing. Now, and yes, I also want to say, is that you got Rhea Ripley as a werewolf? Yes, I do. So the main werewolf is modeled after Rhea Ripley. Also, we modeled the werewolves behind her off the Usos. That was not my choice. That was Quinn's, and this is why I hired him to do the job. So there's that. But getting out of that, basically, they're waiting. My main character, Kellen, is a troubleshooter, and he's basically the guy who is the person who stands between the supernatural of the city and humanity. And he's basically there to make sure everybody knows what's what about where shit's gonna go. And how it's going to go down on Elvis Week, how there's not going to be anybody getting disappeared. There's not going to be vampires running roughshod and snatching people's tree. Werewolves ain't going to be out here running around slicing folks up, eating folks, whatever. And down here, this whole story is about, instead of framing it around people talking shit about Batman knowing he's not present, this is about people talking shit about the main character because he's late. They think he is not present. So they are talking shit because they know he isn't in the room. And while you can't see the lettering here, it's like, yeah, basically, and the reason why this character probably shows up more than not, we have a character here named, I don't want to give away his name because I think it's too funny and I don't want anybody stealing my shit. But yeah, point of the matter is, this Faye, he doesn't think that Kellen is about that life. He don't give a fuck. And basically in this first page, we start with him talking shit. He's talking his shit. And the sorceress is the first one who is going to give us her tale about, well, yes, Kellen is that dude, but she's also telling you why. She's also telling you how, like, basically, she's probably like the one person whose story is not so much about how she almost took him out, but also as a cautionary tale for why he is not to be underestimated. And then the rest of the stories are going to be more about how each of these characters are like, nah, see, you didn't know what you were doing. I got the motherfucker. You make sure that's basically what it is. That's just a preview. That's just the first page. So yeah, there you go. I don't want to give away any much more than that, but yeah, I'm gonna like I said, as it goes along, there will be more stuff that will get revealed. As far as I will, and this is, I guess this is because this is a good follow up. Who handles the fashion designs for the characters, costumes, apparel, or in other words, the Russell Dodderman of the creative team? So it's a little bit of both. So, as some of you may or may not know, I actually did initially design all the characters that you see in the story on some level or another, or I had very specific ideas of what I wanted them to look like. Now, beyond that, I passed all this information on to Quinn, and I let Quinn do it. I let him run wild. So, like, in the case of, like, going back to here, I'll use this as an example. So you don't see it as well right here, but this guy here with the brooch, who is a vampire, I didn't have it necessarily in my mind exactly who I wanted him to be modeled after. But when you kind of scroll down to right here, you might see it a little bit better. You can see he's modeled a little more off Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't my choice. But when Quinn told me what he wanted to do and why he was doing it, I was like, you know what? I like it. I actually like it. I was like, I think this actually is perfect. It actually fits the persona of the character. And then when I went up here, we're talking about like right here, as I said earlier, making the two guys in the back, kind of more modeled after like more hairy Wolfman versions of the Usos. I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. I didn't think about it because honestly, they were just gonna be generic looking dudes as far as I was concerned. The character here being modeled after Rhea Ripley, that was something that was in early on in the inception, and I think he initially had like a different look for, but then I was like, and this was probably like the one thing I was like, no, I want it to look like this. Now, as far as like the dress, he went there with the dress. Like, I think the initial design I had was more that she was gonna wear like band t-shirts, like ripped up band t-shirts. But like, because this was a setting where like people were going to be more formal, this was basically her idea of formality, is looking like she's going to a goth show or something like that. But yeah, that was pretty much that. And then like, I think initially one of the demon characters, I wanted him to look more like Terrence Howard. But we ended up not going that route because I actually liked the design he came up for even better. So yeah, that was basically what it was. Like, and like the main character is based on my designs, but Quinn is putting his own spin on it, which I think looks great. And it's kind of and like some of the clothing choices, some of them were things that like pictures I sent to Quinn, and some of them are shit that he just came up with on his own, of his own volition. I think for the sorceress, I said I wanted her to look kind of like one of those black aunties that you would have that has the plastic on the sofa and the candy bowl dish on in front of it. Like it was or like you might have some beaded curtains up in that motherfucker, or she might be and maybe have some of that gay auntie energy. that gay black auntie energy, you know, like you can't really see it in the shot, but she has on a daishiki and like a head wrap and, you know, shit like that. So like, yeah, these are the kind of things that like, I wanted to make sure made it in, but I didn't mean to go off on that one for as long. I apologize, but yeah, yeah. Y'all get the idea. You get the vibes. You get the vibes. We got here. Oh my god. Y'all, this ain't shit right here. Nerd Lars says, question, Ernatar and Carter Brimbor, did y'all get major Bitterroot vibes from that Coogler Centers trailer? You know, I actually did want to talk about that. Did you watch the trailer?
I saw the trailer like that morning. I posted it in the Discord and flat out. So if this don't show y'all that a Bitterroot movie could work.
Yeah.
I was literally the first motherfucker that posted that trailer in the Discord. So,
yeah. I said the same, like not the same thing, but like on Threads, I told people, I said it kind of makes me mad that the Bitterroot movie has not come out yet. But I said immediately after, if this movie is why he's not come out with it yet, I'm okay with it. I will allow it, because if this is cold, all it will do is build an appetite for that Bitterroot movie even more. So, like I feel like this movie might be the proof of concept that might get a studio to be more quickly to put more money behind a Bitterroot adaptation, because it is kind of similar in some respects. So yeah, and we also got one here from Rough Rider over on the Twitch side. Says, question, so would the answer be for all of us to buy stock in these companies to have a better chance to see the things we want? Honestly, wouldn't hurt. Yeah, because at the end of the day, this is what did Wu-Tang say? What did Wu-Tang say? Cash rules.
Oh Lord.
Cash rules at all times. There is no time where cash does not rule. And that is it. Yeah, cream. And here's the thing, and I agree. I agree with Jasmine here. Yeah, is it maybe this is the biggest stockholders have the most sway? This is also true. But here's the thing. Who's to say? I'm not trying to presume anything. But if enough people put dollars down, even if it's not in stocks, people pay attention. Money cannot be denied. Sales cannot be denied. If you want something to and the thing is, it has to be unified. It has to be unified. If everyone says, hey, we're supporting this, period, and puts their dollars behind it, the company has no choice, because they want more money. They have no choice. Dollars make sense. Every time. That said, and we'll do this. This will be our last one. G. Martinez Max says, is it unfair to say that DC's Mr. Terrific is their version of Marvel's Forge in the DC universe? It's not so much that it's unfair. It's kind of it's a very different type of thing. I only say this because I think of yes, both incredibly intelligent people who can just do whatever they put their mind to. I think the difference is just going to be in the sense that Forge's power, while technically it is natural, I think it is only somewhat diminishing in the sense that Mr. Terrific has no power. He just does shit. He hasn't that his power, as I've always said, is he has a natural aptitude for having natural aptitudes. And I think that's one of those things that, like, a Mr. Terrific could be anybody. And so I think he's more relatable as a character in that regard. So yeah. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. And I do agree with Jasmine. He would be more like a Mr. Terrific without the physical powers. That I think a Mr. Terrific or a Blue Marvel without the physical prowess, or not prowess, but powers. That's what I would say. Yeah, that's what I would say. That said, I have nothing else. Carter, do you have anything you want to share before we get up out of here?
No.
This guy. Actually, here, let me check something real quick. I want to make sure before we run up out of here. Oh, yes, I do want to make sure we don't miss this. We also got. I want to make sure we recognize this as well. That was not the correct one. It's this one. But we got Gay Rights 702 over here who hit us for the 8 months over on the Twitch side. We appreciate you. Thank you. That said, I have no announcements. There will be an X-Force #3 video released after this, and then I have some other videos I'm going to go work on. I tell you what, this is what I've decided to do. To build up anticipation. I don't know if this will, this might build up anticipation. It might build animosity. I haven't really decided which one it'll do. But we are right now, oh my God, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this, Carter. We are right now at 99,499 subscribers. We are, it's like right there. Like right there. We're right there. We're getting close. We are getting close. And I think that it's at this point, I want to let you guys know what I am cooking as the video that I plan to release should we hit 100K, as well as the other, I think I said it before, but I want to reiterate it. Because I said, I because of the way that YouTube does things, I wanted to do the console giveaway as a way to build a base, but honestly, those people usually never hang around. So I decided that I would give it away as a celebration of hitting 100K. So there's actually gonna be 3 things. 3 things are gonna happen here when we hit 100K. Do I have... I don't think I have them close to me right now or where I can actually reach them. But I have some variant covers of some really good Dynamite comics that I'm going to be giving away. We're also going to be giving away a console we're going to pick a random winner, and the winner's choice of console that is available at the time will be what they get, whether it's a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, or heaven help you, a Nintendo Switch. Whichever you choose, that's on you. I don't make any if the PS5 Pro is out by then, sure. I don't know when the PS5 Pro comes out, but I don't want
to be in a giveaway for the PS5 Professional. Fuck that thing.
I mean, well, you mean it's just the PS 5.1?
Oh, wow.
The PS 5.1. But no, I will also be releasing, or the plan is to release a video, and this is going to be a 100,000 subscriber special, and it's going to be my thoughts, and it's going to be my final thoughts on the... No. It's going to be my final thoughts on the great debate of whether or not Charles Xavier and Magneto are based on the civil rights icons, Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. I'm going to give you detailed, well-researched information, and that video is cooking as we speak. It's actually a video I shot 3 months ago, actually planned to release a while ago, but it became a much bigger entity than I initially thought. So that's a video I'm going to keep in my back pocket till we hit that 100K. So yes, if you want to see that video and you want to ensure that video sees the light of day, which I think is something I think everyone here would probably enjoy, make sure you share this channel. Make sure you hit like on every video, this one included, because I know... I think we're a little short on, I think we might be a little short. Well, no, we got, likes are all right. They're all right right now. But yes, make sure you click like on every video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already. Make sure, and just beyond all that stuff, make sure that you share the video with other people, because y'all have no idea. I know sometimes y'all might think that like, oh, I shared it with my friends, because I know how it is with me. When I share certain videos, 2 or 3 people might hit the like button. But the thing is, that is, even if you share something somewhere and it like maybe one person interacts with it, that's one more person that was not already interacting with that content. So please, I beg of you, hook a brother up We're trying to look, like I said, we're trying to get out there. We're trying to make it. We're getting really close. And trust me, when we hit that 100K, here's the thing you need to know. That changes everything. Because when this channel is at 100K, other people have to start taking us seriously. That means brands have to start taking us seriously. That means people in the industry have to start taking us seriously. And the more we grow, the more we get, the more we can do. So I'm not trying
whether you like it or not.
Exactly. Thank you. And you know what? I think on that mercenary note, I think it is time to say that for one, for everyone in the chat, the lurkers, the chatters, the super chatters, for everyone in Blerd Koa, Earth's Mightiest subscribers, Earth's Mightiest patrons, for all my people in the 901. I want to just say also for Blerd Koa, for Carter Presents, I am the Blerd without fear. And in light of recently watching the Netflix documentary, Mr. McMahon, and Hulk Hogan, and you too, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, y'all can go to hell.